Did I stutter?
He has time, launches it to the end zone. Touchdown! Terrence Williams!
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
The 2011 winner of the Heisman Trophy is Robert Griffin III, RG3!
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Langoliers, base hit to center, and the Baylor Bears win their first Big 12 tournament championship.
Their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yep, just ready for OU.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's Drake Toll.
Let's go! Super Tuesday, Drake Toll, JD Piquel, Blonde Boys Power Hour, Armstrong Sims. We are live on Up Tempo today, talking national championship. The Texas Longhorns, led by Steve Sarkisian, crowned kings of college football.
Shout out to them, man. Shout out to those guys. They worked hard for it all year long. Nobody thought they could do it, and they did it. They weren't even in the playoff, and they still found a way to win the national championship. Party in Austin, UT Mike.
Guys, that's where we start today. The fact that yesterday, Alabama won the national championship by, what was it, 28? 4 touchdowns?
Yep.
52.
They were rolling. Tide was rolling.
52-24? Am I crazy?
That's close.
52-24 it was. There it is.
Something like that.
And so on top of that, though, Steve Sarkisian, offensive coordinator at Alabama, gets all of the credit and the glory for winning the national championship. Granted, 3 Heisman contenders on the offense. Devontae Smith. How do you spell that, by the way?
Devanta.
We'll get to that here in a
Capital
little bit.
V.
But Devontae Smith, Mac Jones, Najee Harris, unbelievable game from Alabama. They proved us wrong. There was a video clip of you yesterday picking
They're
Ohio
100%.
State
That's
outright.
That's going to live forever for sure.
Yeah,
I stand by that.
I hope we
stand
have
by
that later in the show.
talk.
But 52-24, Alabama wins it in blowout fashion. Steve Sarkisian, the offensive coordinator at Alabama, though, give him credit. Give him credit. The guy won a natty, and he's one of the best offensive coordinators in the country. But now I wake up this morning to my entire Twitter and social media feed being Texas fans that are effectively claiming a national championship just because Steve Sarkisian won it. As if that's going to, like this right here. This is on Orange Bloods, which is a Rivals Texas forum. Oh, Sark, holy crap, national title game. If we're half this good, we're winning the Big 12 next year. I think that's what the next one says, too. The Big 12.
Put on notice, guys.
The Big
Nobody's
12
put on
has been
notice.
put on notice because Steve Sarkisian won the national championship. I can't imagine, like, living on a... Did Baylor fans do that when Dave Aranda... Literally, Dave Aranda's the exact same situation.
We kind of did, but it was very different headlines. Like, nobody was saying Big 12's put on notice. Everyone was like, this guy's really good. Our defense could be really good after we get some more starters that have had some more experience, but nobody was saying we're winning the Big 12. Also, do we expect anything different from the Longhorn faithful? UT Mike calls in to a subscription-based Baylor supportive website, and he, after a Baylor game, will call in and talk about what's going on with Baylor and talk about how Texas probably won a narrow game over West Virginia or whatever it was.
But you're
this is par for the course for
this is
UT.
literally Texas fans.
Yes.
That all day today, and I get it. You know, the majority of the state, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet since I've been here on whether or not people from Texas are like diehard Texas fans across the board. What I've heard from a lot of Baylor fans is that, oh, you know, on a year Baylor's down. If Texas is not playing Baylor, I'm rooting for UT. I don't know if I get that as much. It's like a do I have to?
Yeah.
But now this is just the epitome of Texas fans to see like, ho, ho, ho. Devontae Smith's the Heisman winner.
Yeah.
Steve Sarkisian's a national champion. So basically, we're adding those to our trophy case.
It's very arrogant. Like when we played Yale and Harvard every single year, it was very much pinkies up. We're Harvard, we're Yale. Like, you know us, you know about us, you want to be us. And it's like, dude, nobody really wants to be you that bad. Like, it's awesome that you have that sweatshirt that says Texas and it's burnt orange, and you have like this awesome college experience in Austin, which like isn't really even a college town. Like, there's also, full disclosure, my dad did his MBA at Texas. So I am definitely like, I'm definitely not
Were you born and
anti-Texas.
raised a Texas fan?
I wasn't, thank goodness. Thank goodness I wasn't. But I mean, there's just a very much an arrogance, especially with the undergrad crowd.
I was.
About being, you were Armstrong? You were burnt orange?
How does that go? Like,
you know.
Are people just born Texas fans here naturally across the entire state?
Well, my mom went there, and Texas runs in the family. So I grew up a Texas fan. But honestly, when they started stinking at football, I stopped caring.
Yeah,
And
among many others.
And by the time I got to like where I was applying for colleges, I had developed a dislike for Texas. I didn't even apply to Texas. So
There you go, Armstrong. There you go, buddy.
I don't understand that. I get it. There's like this affinity across the state where like, oh yeah, you know, when Texas wins, the whole state wins, and they are the state school of Texas.
Yeah.
They're the state school of Texas, but they're just like, I feel like it's a novelty at this point.
Yeah.
Every year, Texas is top 15, and they're going to win the national
so
championship,
annoying.
and they're going to win the Big 12.
So annoying.
And they lose 3 or 4 games, and then they end up firing Tom Herman, and now they hire Steve Sarkisian. Are they going to be much better? I don't get it. I don't get it.
And then they win their bowl game. Someone tweeted Tom Herman, when he was still the head coach, is the equivalent of someone who gets about a C the duration of the semester and then aces the final, like in some random bowl game, like the Texas Bowl, the Alamo Bowl, whatever it is. And that is so true. I mean, they just have been mediocre for years, and the branding of Texas has, for whatever reason, just indoctrinated the AP and made them think that Texas deserves to be in the top 10, top 15 year after year after year. Also, quick note, Orange Bloods, that's a horrific name for a site, because if your blood is literally orange, you are probably under-oxygenated on your blood. Like, that's probably not good for you if your blood is actually orange. So we got to talk about that. Something to consider rebranding. I know they're big on branding in Austin.
That's where I am
let's
today.
talk about that.
Quite literally, there was a national championship game yesterday in which Alabama blew the brakes off Ohio State. And I want to talk about how Devontae Smith did so well and how Mac Jones has an awesome beer gut.
Dude,
Not yet, Armstrong. We're saving that one.
Okay.
But the bullet's in the chamber. And how Najee Harris is just dominant. They didn't even really have to go to Najee Harris. I mean, they didn't have to, they didn't want to, because it was a Mac Jones and Devontae Smith show.
Najee Harris did have 3 touchdowns still.
That's true. And he scored, what was that first one was pretty.
Yeah,
he had a couple that were insane. He's a beast.
He's going to be good in the
He reminds
NFL.
me a lot of Derrick Henry from just a power standpoint. Like, I'll run over you. But I would love to talk about that, aside from the fact that today we had to start our show discussing the Texas They live in my head rent-free.
Really?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Really? Well, rent is expensive in Austin, so it makes sense if they can find cheaper rent somewhere else.
And they have, in my head, free.
I don't think they have rent in your head.
They're getting close.
I think they make themselves really relevant. Like, props to them to be on our Twitter after Alabama was national championship.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
props
true.
to them for branding. Like, they do a good job of branding and
Let's
being
play this right
relevant in
here.
that space.
Let's play this right here, Armstrong. It
Which
is,
one?
or not, I say play. It's the picture where it's literally it says all gas, no brakes. It is the
Oh, yeah.
literal
It's the actual Texas
football Twitter account tweets all gas, no brakes. Horns up at Coach Sark at 10:49 after the national championship.
It's so funny, though. Like, it's so funny that's what they're excited about. I mean, I'd be excited, too, if I had hired Coach Sarkisian. I don't think Baylor's tweeting all gas, no brakes. I think they're probably tweeting, congratulations, Coach Sark. Can't wait to have you. And they're not just claiming their national championship as their own. Like, we can all agree that's just sort of a funny thing to do. It's not flattering either. Like, it makes you look dumb. Like, nobody outside of the Texas sphere thinks this is a cool look or is excited for Texas or thinks this is like valid for them.
So here's where it gets just substantially better for me, like exponentially better, is the fact that Texas A&M may be worse. Like, Texas A&M Twitter it's perpetually worse than Texas Twitter, but it has gone off today. A&M finished in the top 4 for the first time since the Civil War.
Good for them.
Congratulations,
Good for them.
Texas A&M.
They had a good
But
year.
they too overreacting just a little bit,
Just a little bit.
How about the Jimbo Fisher head football coach, Texas A&M University? It's a tweet that says it's an award that they've given to Jimbo Fisher for 2020. Lost to Alabama by the same margin as Ohio State.
Yeah, like, cool.
So, congratulations, Texas A&M, because you should have been in the college football playoff. Why didn't they let you in?
They would have gotten throttled by Clemson. By Clemson, they would have gotten throttled. They wouldn't have been in the national championship.
But they would have had
A&M would have gotten whacked. They should have lost North Carolina. They very much should have lost North Carolina,
North Carolina had
they had 3 of their best players missing. They had their 2 leading rushers, their leading receiver, and they still really should have beat North Carolina. They had 2 touchdown passes get dropped, and they were very fortunate to win that game by as much as they did. The margin of victory is not accurate. Yeah, see, there it is. The lost to Bama by same margin as Ohio State. Put that on a plaque and hang it at your next job.
I love that. It's like the Colts, like AFC. Have you seen the banner that hangs in Lucas Oil Stadium?
No.
It's like AFC Championship. It's like runner-up. Yeah, it's AFC Championship game runner-up is a banner that the Colts hung in Lucas Oil Stadium. Just like, give them a banner.
See, I guarantee nobody likes that too if you're affiliated with the A&M program. Like, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, Jimbo Fisher isn't excited he lost to Bama by the same margin.
I don't know. I feel like they embrace that.
I don't think if you're within the program you do. I think the fan base does. Within the program, you're like, it's like when your mom shows your trophy from 3rd grade, like when you won the swim meet in the 3rd grade.
Stop.
It's just like, okay, like that's kind of cool, but like, don't show everyone out right now. Like, don't expose me.
That's a participation ribbon.
Yes.
Mom.
Yes, you get
that's
it.
literally what that's what A&M is today.
Yes.
How about this, Kyle Umlang? Do you have this, Armstrong? That last picture on there where it's A&M and the AP poll. JD, you'll love this one right here. That it's also on the Twitter feed where it's Texas A&M.
Oh, I think you said this. Yeah.
Like celebrating 4th place so just aggressively, because that is today is a great day in Texas A&M sports.
Amazing.
When they can celebrate being number 4 in the AP poll. Their first top 4 finish. Like, I love the fact that you made it top 3, that they still, why are we narrowing it to 4?
Yeah.
I could change the criteria to first top 3 finish, and A&M doesn't have one for a long time.
Been a minute.
It's still World
Been a
War II.
long
It's World
time.
War II since they have a top 3 finish, but they made it top 4 today. Congratulations, Texas A&M, I guess. 254-339-1122, Impact Health Labs caller line. There it is right there.
I had to do some editing.
Thank you, Armstrong.
You're a good guy.
Crowning the I see. Crowning the A&M guy with his gold medal. He's kissing the AP poll girl, champagne everywhere, and then the other 3 teams are like, all right. You're in 4th place. So today, we're recapping a bunch of that stuff. Also, we're giving things away. We're playing Dead or Alive today. So we're going to get a caller in here later on in the show to play Dead or Alive. No guests in the first hour. So we're doing Blonde Boy Power Hour. Blonde Boys Power Hour. for the entire hour. How about this? Today's matchups on the bracket. Kendall Wright and Nick Florence.
There we go.
That's a tough one, I feel like. That's a tough one.
Where are you going there? I guess we don't want to sway the callers, but
yeah,
I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are.
We'll get there in a second.
Later.
Ahmad Dixon and Levi Norwood. And I like that one too. I think that one's the tougher of the two today, but Nick Florence has that quarterback bias.
Really, yeah.
Also, if you could live in one mansion, rent-free, huge, biggest house you can imagine, but it's got to be with one Big 12 coach, who would it be?
Big
Who would
12
it be?
football coach, right?
Anything. I'm going to give you anything. If you want to go track, but it can't be a Baylor coach because that's cheating, guys.
Okay.
That's cheating. We got to stop. All right, we got a caller on the line here. I think this is Baylor Bigfoot. Talk to us, caller.
Give us the top 5.
Hello?
It is Baylor Bigfoot. Welcome on to Up Tempo.
Me on the phone. Sponsored by Double R Burgers.
Nice.
The Double B special at Double R. Remember, Double R for Double B's. Tell them Bigfoot sent you.
I like that.
Yeah, first time calling in the show, but I've been a long time listener. Anyway, here's my weekly list of homies and haters. Made top 5 list because I know time is of the essence.
We love you.
Here's the hater. At 5, we got Joe Wickline. It turns out he was a terrible coach. Not Jens. I'm officially declaring my support for Jens Danielson.
No way.
On Up Tempo.
Eric Mateo.
Baylor Bigfoot is now a Jens Danielson
He does
fan.
not stop for us to talk.
That's true.
Taylor Wando. Who is Barry Tomcat. I think that's his name. And number 1 is the haters who say I never do or play with RG3. They're too big a count. And you know what? RG3 is a dear friend of mine. Here's the homies list.
Can you help us get him on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that would be tremendous if you could pull some strings.
It's Big Cat Bryant. This one's pending only if he comes to Baylor. All my loyal Twitter followers. Ryan Krug at Jake_Needs, Dr. Jane Harville, Kyan Roberts J, Hannah Wilkinson, and Sierra Shipley, just to name a few.
Just a few.
At 4 is Scotty B, the Baylor King.
I'll retweet
for
that.
allowing the Crow King of Baylor with him. What an honor. Thank you, Scotty B. Bigfoot Jr. nearly cried when he read that tweet.
I agree with that.
Number 3 is Double R Burgers for sponsoring my call. Once again,
I wonder if
go
they
to
actually
Double
did.
R Burgers, ask for the Bigfoot special,
If they
and
can
tell
sponsor
them
Baylor Bigfoot, can they
sent you.
sponsor me?
Yeah.
They sponsored Bigfoot's call.
It's SicEm365 Radio. David, Craig, and Paul do a fantastic job. I wish they were on for longer and talk about the Big 12 more, but they're still the premier show for Baylor sports. And number 1, guys, is Up Tempo.
Let's go!
Wow.
I'm drunk. Still tweet about J.D. Chiswick, a former coach of mine, arguing he was a legend.
Wow. All right, Baylor Bigfoot, let's play some Bear
I
games.
want to reiterate what RG3 said I was better than him, so I believe Bobby 36 should be in the Bigfoot and the Bear games now.
There we
That's the
go.
way.
All right, Baylor Bigfoot, Bear games from your number 1 on your homies list, Up Tempo. Kendall Wright or Nick Florence?
I'm going to have to go Kendall Wright. Even though Nick Florence had a really great career, especially if he played longer than just one season.
True. How about Ahmad Dixon or Levi Norwood?
That's a tough one, but I'm going to have to go Dixon.
Ahmad Dixon. Okay, Baylor Bigfoot, you can live in one mansion rent-free with a Big 12 coach that is not from Baylor. Who is it?
Oh, really, guys? You're going to make me do this question now?
Yep.
I guess Gary Patterson. That way, I can beat him in wrestling every day and have him float, or I float over him as he looks away and goes back to his room like a little boy.
Oh, my gosh. All right, tag yourself out, Baylor Bigfoot.
Oh, you listen. Remember to go to Double R and tell Bigfoot sent you. Double B's out.
Wow. Did we just get, did Double R Burgers just get free sponsorship on our show?
I think
Via
so.
Baylor
It sounds like they paid for it, so maybe it wasn't that free.
Double R Burgers sponsored his
But
call.
am I not getting... Somebody get on the horn of Double R Burgers. Let's
Double R
figure
Burger's
out what's
pretty
going
good.
on down
I've
there.
had
I like Double R
It's
Burgers.
good. Yeah.
I put it up there with Health Camp and what's the other? Cups? Cups is pretty good.
Cups.
Dude, we should call them on the show.
Did you
Need to
ever
go to
yeah. We got a bone to pick with you, Double R Burgers.
I want to do a pizza Olympics where we order 2 pizzas and see which one gets here first.
That's
like
genius.
that.
Maybe one day we do that. I don't know. I don't know.
We could do that tomorrow.
We could do that tomorrow.
How about this? Wing Monday. What did you do? Did you
I went
wings yesterday?
Wingstop. I went Wingstop. So my sister works
really?
for the advertising agency that works with Wingstop. Also, Wingstop was just like the best and easiest to get. Like convenience sake, it was just a good move. Dude, I got 50 wings. I was the only person that
Lunch, dinner, or the game?
Just the game.
Okay,
it turned into lunch today. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate you asking about that.
I got wings as well, but I went. What's the wings that Pizza Hut gives out? I say they give out.
Wing Street.
Wing Street.
Mm-hmm.
Big proponent of. I'm a big Wing Street guy. It's like
interesting.
It's a family tradition to get Pizza Hut stuffed crust and then some Wing Street action on college football national championship day.
I love that.
So we did that. On today's show, come on, boys and girls. It's up tempo. Drake Toll, JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims. We're giving stuff away. I have a bang. I tell you what, I will give away a bang today. Really? I can't give away. We're out of flipping ice shaker because we both dropped the ball yesterday to our father Jack Wheeler.
He came with it.
He did on Music Monday. But today we're playing Dead or Alive with a caller. I'm going to give away a T-shirt. We're going to give away free forum passes today. But to get involved in that, you guys got to call us at 254-339-1122. I tell you, JD, we talked about this. We had a long, stern talking to about this off the air. It's not my show.
It's not my show.
It's not your show.
It's not my show.
Armstrong?
It's not my show.
It's not Armstrong's show. It's your show, the viewers, the callers, those that make this run. Call us, text us, 254-339-1122 with your questions and comments today. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. We got Armstrong's Minute coming up from Armstrong Sims. This is Up Tempo.
Around the horn in college athletics last night, the #1 Alabama Crimson Tide capped off a perfect 13-0 season with a dominating 52-24 win over Ohio State to claim their 6th national championship in the last 12 seasons.
Play action. Jones steps up right down the middle of the field. It's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. A truly special performance by the Heisman Trophy winner. 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Heisman winner Devontae Smith was named MVP for the game after notching 12 catches, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first half alone, leaving the game early due to a dislocated finger. With the win, Nick Saban has now passed Bear Bryant with 7 national championship victories. In men's basketball, just one game of note took place last night with number 25 UConn beating unranked DePaul 60-53 on the road. And tonight's bout between number 2 Baylor and number 13 West Virginia in the Farrell Center has been canceled due to the Mountaineers not meeting COVID protocol. The Bears' next game will be on Saturday at Texas Tech. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84, and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Allen Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrapped fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrapped fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122. For your company's mass COVID testing, log on to ImpactHealthLabs.com.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and Jeannie Piquel for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
Gas it up! Drake told JD Piquel, Blonde Boys Power Hour, Up Tempo. Who made that fire intro?
Man, it's got to be the one and only Forrest.
You guys ever heard that song? Feeling good.
Dude, you know I've heard it.
Like I should.
I got a Sunday playlist that has that as the first song.
You know I've never heard that.
Also, little known fact, his album Solo, Effortless, not a miss on there. Not a miss on there. It's like a girl that's not married.
Not a miss.
Not a miss.
That's
or
good.
a girl that is married. Not
Which
miss.
you can't find at Baylor because
Not a
Ring by
miss.
Spring, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Today, and speaking of, I didn't tell you this. We're gonna have we're gonna start a thing here pretty soon where we have like a resident sorority girl on, like once a week.
Really?
Yeah, to break down The Bachelor for us. I can't decide if I want it to be.
What was The Bachelor on last night?
Yeah, so for some reason on
Drake,
both on
give us your
ABC.
take. Give us your take.
I didn't watch it. I don't care.
We know Drake watched it.
I don't care whatsoever. I was watching the national champion. Who schedules that?
Yeah, I don't know. The National Championship games on ESPN.
Yeah.
And the same company owns the network.
ABC. Yeah.
And they put The Bachelor on ABC.
Zero idea.
Very questionable. Very questionable.
Yeah.
What are we doing at ABC?
But my thoughts are, like a resident sorority girl. I don't know. Do you want like the same one every week or a different one every week that comes on and just talks about, like, gives us her daily Bachelor update?
You need
That's a good question.
You need different views.
I mean, do you have a pretty broad talent base that you're drawing from here?
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, I wasn't trying to be sarcastic and asking that. I was actually being serious.
Honestly, yeah, I do. It's all the hoodie. It's all
the hoodie, baby.
What's that say?
It says it's only money. That's what we're rocking with today. I got some new Up-Tempo merch coming in tomorrow, though, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
We're rocking the ship with Up-Tempo merch.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
Speaking of, we're giving away merch today. Let's go. We have like free forum passes. Still a bunch of those to give away to you guys at 254-339-1122. I want to ask people still to send in their snow pictures, but I can't because that's like old news. I just forgot to do it yesterday.
It's too bad the national championship came on the heels of the snow day because that just sort of avalanched, if you will, pun intended.
Nice. And that's where we're going next to the national championship. Before that, though, Drake told JD PicKell, download the SicEm365 app and listen live on there or watch live on there. Also, the YouTube, if you hit the subscribe button, that little ba-ding, does it make a noise or is that only in the YouTube
It should.
videos?
If it doesn't, it should.
If it doesn't, keep hitting it until it does.
And say ba-ding when you hit it.
Ba-ding. And so hit the subscribe button, and when you subscribe, it'll tell you every morning, it'll say, hey, Up-tempo's on.
Yeah, lock in.
What are you doing? Watch Up-tempo. So here's the deal, too. What I've learned is, I got a text yesterday from a business in Central Arkansas that they play it on their TV, or they have a Roku.
No kidding.
You can watch Up-tempo on your Roku.
We're on Roku?
We're on Roku now.
Let's go. Mom, I'm on Roku.
So, you're sitting there at your office, and you're like, man, my boss is coming by, and I'm, pulling on my computer and I'm back, and then I'm listening to it in my AirPod, and just, you know what? I'm tired of hiding it.
Yeah.
I need the world to know about Up-tempo.
Yeah.
So you just boop, 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 Roku, TV, bam, ba-ding.
Yes, sir.
Up-tempo on your TV. Now you're watching. Your boss walks by, says, what's that? And you say, well, it's Up-tempo. And he's like, oh, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kinda
and then
cool,
your boss watches it with you.
Yeah.
You get a raise. You become your boss.
Yes.
You own the company.
And you find out your boss is, in fact, Baylor Bigfoot.
It's only money.
It's only money, baby.
It's only money.
Speaking of money, the overhit by 1 point last night.
The overhit.
I was watching
with a quarter left.
Vegas knows something. I promise you, sports is rigged. Vegas knows something. 75 is such an obscure number, and it hit 76. Are you joking? Vegas knows something.
That was scary.
Vegas knows something.
Yeah.
It's the Illuminati.
You can't convince
me. Is that what you're going
Vegas,
for here?
No, but I think Vegas knows something. I wouldn't be surprised if Mac Jones was 35 and working for Vegas.
All right. So the question of the day today is, I know we're talking a lot of college football today. I know you're a big college. You played college football at Cornell and then at Baylor. How about this, guys? Nick Saban.
Yep.
Number one, is Nick Saban the greatest coach to ever coach college football?
College football, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, definitely.
I would take it a step further and say he's the greatest coach outside of John Wooden in sports.
Okay. Do you give John Wooden the nod or Nick Saban? There
do.
is the recency bias, but John Wooden won 10 straight national championships.
Yeah, you got to give it to him.
Dude, John Wooden's
UCLA.
unbelievable.
How about
so dominant?
So I'm going to blow you guys. I'm going to blow your minds.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
There is one better coach in college sports history than both Nick Saban and John Wooden combined.
Does it start with? Is he Division I or is he another?
He is Division I.
Is it Coach K? Is that where you're going with this?
It is not Coach K.
No, absolutely not.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Coach K. You could make the argument for Coach K.
It is John McDonnell of the University of Arkansas track and field program. Okay. John McDonnell, if I remember, championships, NCAA championships. 40 of them, 5 Triple Crowns, 38 Southwest Conference championships, 46 SEC championships, 30-time National Coach of the Year, 49-time Conference Coach of the Year, 62-time Region Coach of the Year.
Oh my gosh.
John McDonnell, University of Arkansas. The man's got
How old is
40
How old is this guy?
He's
30?
82.
You say 30-time Coach of the Year?
30-time Coach
gosh.
national
on earth?
Oh my gosh. How have I not heard of this guy?
Here's how it's not cheating, but it's kind of cheating.
Okay.
He has 40 national championships, which is just stupid.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
That's more fingers.
But he also has so he coached track and cross country.
Okay.
And I think there's another one in there, maybe field. Does that count as a separate? We're gonna learn
Probably.
more about that
There's
later
probably
on this
something
week.
in
We got Casey Lightfoot's on the show this afternoon. We're gonna ask him that. But he's got 40 national championships. So you get multiple shots a year at that. But the guy he finished with 40 in his career. So John McDonnell's
40
coach
of anything is a lot.
True.
I will say,
Unless it's pennies.
yeah, then it's
But
not a lot.
that
Or
said,
Adams.
I don't want 40 pennies. That's
I
a
don't
lot
want
of
40
pennies.
pennies.
That is a lot of pennies.
Yeah, it's a lot of pennies.
It's an annoyance.
It's cumbersome. Does it cheapen? This is a legitimate question for you. Does it cheapen his achievements at all for you that it's track and not a sport where there's more strategy? Because
No.
no. Just hear me out. There is no strategy in track. That's Armstrong. That's okay. There is no strategy in track because it's all stopwatch. You're not drawing up
I don't
plays.
think there's no strategy.
There's no plays in,
Oh my
in track.
gosh!
There's
I will
no
get Michael
strategy in
Stout on the
track.
line right now.
Okay, you have race strategy.
Call him right now.
You have You got to understand it. Like, one person can run 3 events.
Right.
You got to know where to run them and when to run them and who needs to run what. Not only that. Like, you're working with like this athlete's doing 4 different events. We got to make sure that their stamina's built up. Not only that though, it then becomes like you can qualify for nationals. So like you can qualify for the NCAA national championship with a certain time. So like say that you got 4 guys on your team. The first 2 guys, they qualified for the national championship based on their time. Right. Well, they can also qualify based on how they finish in their conference. So those first 2 guys shouldn't run in conference because you want another 4 guys to have their chance to win conference so they can move on and compete at nationals.
So how much time do you think he's giving in the film room?
Oh, it's okay. I would assume
that was a serious question.
I think the numbers game's a ton. But also technique and form. Think about technique and form.
Yeah, technique and form, but I think there is substantially more time put in if you're John Wooden or Nick Saban. No, this is genuinely how I feel. I think you put in substantially more hours recruiting, organizing your staff, multiple positions. Like, you have to be substantially more knowledgeable and as CEO
this is
at these other
me.
positions. This is how I feel. This is real.
You know, track
also,
has
the fact that nobody knows who he is does speak volumes.
Track has like 4 coaches. Yeah, because that's industry. People watch football. It doesn't. But here's the deal. I don't watch cricket. I tried watching cricket last week. Couldn't do it.
Cricket is.
It's so
probably
complex.
on at weird times, too.
So complicated.
It's probably on at really weird times.
He could have won 40 national championships in cricket. We wouldn't know about him, but he's probably a better X's and O's guy than most football coaches.
If it was as big a deal as we're all talking about it is, and it's a very big deal. Let's not get that lost in the sauce. It's a very big deal. If it was as big a deal as winning 10 championships in a row in NCAA college basketball, then we would all know who John McDonald is, I think. And that's my opinion. I don't know if that's true, but that's how I feel about the game.
I don't think that knocks the sport, but I think it just says what people like watching more.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
How about this? Bill. Oh, Bill is back on. Bill, welcome into Uptempo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm here with Sam and Holly's grandmother, Mary.
Mary.
Mr. Bill, Miss Mary, I've seen that your comment here. So Sam and Holly Hall are both joining us, but Holly's last name's not Hall anymore. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, yes. Her name is Holly Hall Niver.
So,
and
Miss Mary, let me ask you this. Niver, that sounds a lot like Jordan Niver, who played tight end for Baylor.
That's who she's married to.
Athletic kids. And if I remember correctly, they live somewhere around Tulsa now, correct?
Wow.
Correct.
I studied for the interview.
You're on it.
Well, we've got them at 1 o'clock today. They're going to join our radio show, both of them on Skype, and you'll be able to watch them. That is Holly Hall and Sam Hall, both played for Baylor. Sam, an all-star defensive back, and Holly, one of the better softball players of the last couple decades here at the university, and they're going to be here at 1:05. I'm sure you guys will be watching, right?
Well, that's why we're calling. We need to know how to do that, if you can tell us.
We can see you, but I don't know how to see them.
Okay.
We've got you up on the screen here.
Right. So if we're up on the computer screen, here at about an hour and a half, what we'll do on our end is we'll take me off of the screen, and then we'll put Sam and Holly onto the screen so you can see them instead of having to look at me.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Sure is.
That's how we've set it up, so you can see. I know you're tired of looking at me, but you'll be able to see them at 1:05. We're going to put them on the screen for you guys.
Well, that's lovely. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I have a message now on the screen that says the live stream is either down or has ended with an error code. Are you guys still on the air live or just sound?
So here's what I'm going to do, Bill. I'm going to patch you through to our producer, whose fault that is, and I'm going to let him explain to you what's going on.
You must be.
All right.
You must be on another day's live stream. You must be selecting a separate live stream from a previous day, because we are currently live.
So what do they need to do?
And it's working. Let me do this off the air.
I still can't believe we're on Roku.
Let me.
This is awesome. This is the best day of my life.
Okay, so Mr. Bill, if you go to the YouTube
Yeah, I can tell you what to do if anyone out there listening wants to watch and for y'all.
Right.
So you go on your computer or on your smart TV or whatever, and you go to YouTube. And all you have to do on YouTube is search SicEm365, no space.
Okay.
SicEm365. I'm doing it right now on my computer too to test this.
All right.
And the first thing that should pop up is what is currently live, which is us right now, and it should say in a red box, live now, and that's what's currently live. And if you click on that, that's us.
Okay. We'll do it.
Awesome.
We don't want to miss them.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bill and Miss Mary. We're glad you guys are going to get to watch.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you real soon.
Appreciate you so much.
Thank you. We've got Statman in Waco. Statman, you're on with Uptempo.
Greetings, Blonde Brothers. I want to participate in your Baylor football poll and also the Mansion question as well.
Ciao, Stat Hombre.
Anyway, first let me talk about no surprise that Alabama dominated Ohio State to win, I believe it's Alabama's 7th national championship in the last 13 years. Can you say dynasty? I knew you could. Alabama has won 18 national championships in college football. That's very impressive, guys.
Very impressive.
I was impressed, not only just Nick Saban, whether you like him or not, Statman, he's got to be the greatest coach in college football history.
Yeah.
Nick Saban has equaled Bear Bryant with 6 national championships at Alabama, but also he did win a national championship at LSU, so he's one up on the great Bear Bryant. So, yes, I agree. I concur that Nick Saban is the greatest college football head coach of all time.
Statman, give me this, and I'm sure you'll remember because it's a monumental game in college football history. Last night's national championship was the first title that the Texas Longhorns have won since what year?
2005 was the last time the Texas Longhorns actually won the national championship in college football. Vince Young in Texas in that exciting, memorable national championship game over USC, who they claimed at the time they were the greatest college football team. And then they lost to Texas.
Yep. That sounds about right. So how about, Statman, are you telling me that Texas, in fact, did not win the national championship last night?
Steve Sarkisian was part of the national championship last night.
Right.
Texas.
So not Texas.
They don't get to, Texas doesn't get to keep the trophy.
No, Texas can go make a special trip to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and touch the national championship trophy if they want.
Not during COVID. Not during COVID, they can't. They got to wait till we get everybody vaccinated. Is there an asterisk next to this national championship for you, Statman? Or does this make it more impressive they won during COVID?
That's a good question. I'm going to answer that this was impressive. The fact that we even had a college football season, much less the college football playoff, semifinal games and national championship game. This is what the people of the United States, the college football fans like you and I, really needed to persevere during the coronavirus pandemic.
So
absolutely.
Let me read you off some stats that I have from last night, Statman. How about this? The hamburger at the game last night, to buy one hamburger, $11. To buy a lemonade, $8. A 12-ounce can of Gatorade, $5. A vodka lemonade, $12. A taquino, $12. All I want is a sweet and sour pretzel. No. Popcorn. Statman, popcorn, $18. What do you think of those stats?
I think the average American would have had to spend one paycheck on that laundry list of items that you just mentioned.
I am included in that list. I am included in the list of Americans that would have to spend a paycheck on that. Statman, you want to play our Bear games?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. All right, we got Kendall Wright or Nick Florence. What do you remember about those two, Statman?
both certainly were part of the Art Briles era, the glory years of Baylor football. Number one total offense, number one scoring offense. 3 years, especially where Kendall Wright was concerned. I'm going to give the edge to Kendall Wright. I'm going to give the wide receiver some love and cast a vote for him.
Yeah, quarterback bias typically dominates these matchups, but I think we're safe with Kendall Wright today. I hope we're safe. How about what, JD?
I'm just thinking out loud. I'll get on after we let Statman do his thing.
How about Ahmad Dixon or Levi Norwood? This is one of the tougher matchups of the first round.
I agree. And I would have to give the slight edge to Ahmad Dixon, although Levi Norwood, he was versatile. I could play multiple positions, but I'll give Dixon my vote.
And then you can live rent-free in a mansion for the rest of your life, but you have to live with one Big 12 coach outside of the Baylor realm. Who is it?
Lincoln Riley, and I would hold him hostage in the mansion to get his trade secrets on winning 6 consecutive Big 12 football championships with the Oklahoma Sooners, and I would force to give me $2 million so that I could venture outside the mansion and have fun attending Baylor athletic events and contributing to Baylor's sports programs as well.
He's a giver.
All right, so Statman is holding someone hostage, but for the good of the world.
The good of Baylor. I'll drink some rain.
Statman, thanks so much for your call on Up Tempo.
Thank you. Have a great day. Sikkim Bears.
Sikkim Bears.
Sikkim Bears.
254-339-1122 Impact Health Labs caller line. Think out loud, JD.
I will say this. Nick Florence should be getting more love on the second best Baylor bracket. He threw for 4,300 yards his senior season. He broke a lot of RG3's records, and we all forgot about it. Like, he was a absolute stat sheet stuffer. Like, he was so good, and I think he should probably get some more credit in this one. I would vote Nick Florence. That's just me.
You would vote Nick Florence?
I vote Nick Florence, and if you look at the numbers, I'm not crazy. He had better numbers than RG3.
So you're going Nick Florence in
I'm going Nick Florence, yeah, 100%. I'm going Nick Florence, and I'm going to go Levi Norwood because I don't think Ahmad Dixon was that great on the defense.
Kendall Wright's senior season. Kendall Wright had 1,663 receiving yards, 14 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The dude had 1,700 in his last 2 seasons combined, had 2,700 total yards. In his collegiate career combined, had over 4,000 yards, and he was a receiver, 32 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was really good. He was really, really good.
Really
but I think
good,
Nick Florence was better.
And better than Nick Florence at Baylor.
I guess we're going to see.
You're a silly goose.
I'm very realistic. Nick Florence had better numbers than RG3.
How many years?
Who is not
How
in the
many years
bracket.
did Nick Florence have better numbers than RG3?
He only started his, he started his senior year, and that was it.
How many years did he have better numbers than Kendall Wright?
His 1 year that he played.
Okay. How many years did Kendall Wright make an impact on the football field?
That's not the question. It's who is the better player for Baylor. And I think it's Nick Florence.
Wow.
That's just me.
That's just me. Is that real, or are you being facetious right now?
This is real. I think if we're basing it off RG3 being the best Baylor player ever, and Nick Florence in his 1 season as a starter had better numbers than the best player ever at Baylor, Nick Florence gets my nod. And it's not going to be popular.
Are you saying it because Kendall Wright didn't throw a touchdown pass? Is this quarterback?
No, Kendall Wright was awesome. I think I would vote Kendall Wright against a lot of other players, but not Nick Florence. I might take Nick Florence all the way.
Kendall Wright also threw 2 touchdown passes, for those wondering.
Oh, did he?
He gets the nod. He gets the nod for sure. The guy is a receiver with 4,000 yards. What is that in career? He's got to be the leading career receiver in Baylor. It's 4,400. We got T-Rex on the Impact Health Labs caller line. T-Rex, you're on Up Tempo.
Here we go.
Hey, gentlemen, listen. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump to it right now. And I just want to answer one of your Bear Games questions, so we can go through the normal process, so we can get to the rest.
Let's hear
Nick Florence all the way, and the reason I say Nick Florence, obviously, a great quarterback like JD's saying in his 1 year. I believe he also stepped in the year that we would have had him an extra year, I believe, had RG3 not got hurt. Because we had to basically burn a red shirt. It's kind of crazy how essentially our second-team quarterback wasn't going to play a snap that entire year. So we would have had him another year. Great guy on the field, but he's also done a lot of great for Baylor off the field while still employed at Baylor.
True. He works at Baylor now.
Yep. He's a Wake Cohen.
Works for the Bear Foundation. He's in charge of, I believe, larger gifts. So clearly nothing that I'm giving.
so I don't ever interact with him. But, hey, he still directly impacts Baylor football. So, money talks. So I'm going to give the nod to Nick Florence based solely on that. And I believe that he had one of the greatest, I think he had a mustache for a while. Maybe I'm mistaken. But
a lot of swag.
He could have gone to the NFL. I believe he publicly came out and said that he was just done playing football.
Yeah.
So.
Unfortunately, we're in the minority here, Bigfoot. Did I just expose T-Rex?
Oh, no.
Did I just expose T-Rex? T-Rex, unfortunately, we're in the minority here. 16% of the vote is going to Nick Florence right now, 133 votes on Twitter. If you haven't yet, anyone listening, go ahead and vote on that on the Up-Tempo Twitter page, as Nick Florence is substantially behind right now.
T-Rex, how about Ahmad Dixon or Levi Norwood?
I'm going to go Ahmad, mostly because hometown kid, as well as I knew his mom. Ahmad's the same age as me. His mom was a substitute teacher, so she came over and subbed a lot.
How well did you know his mom?
Gone to La Vega. However, certain circumstances prevented that. So did good at Midway, but could have almost been a La Vega Pirate with me. But I'm giving it to him just because I know him.
And then mansion. You can live in a mansion, the biggest house in the world, with one Big 12 coach that's not Baylor related. Who is it and why?
It's going to be Gary Patterson, and he's going to live in a pit down in the bottom, and he's going to put the lotion on the skin, or he gets the dry towel again.
I like the movie reference. I applaud you for that, T-Rex. What else you got?
Oh, just, it's a beautiful Tuesday. I just want everyone to know that, obviously we couldn't have our basketball game today. Unfortunately, the West Virginia Mountaineers were hanging out with their cousins too much and got COVID. So that's okay. But, hey, Friday, our tennis season starts. We're going to go win a national championship in men's tennis. Saturday, the women start. Both have doubleheader men on Friday, doubleheader on Saturday. I believe there might be very limited attendance in the indoor practices or indoor arena. Hopefully you'll see me there.
Not in the outdoor arena, though.
Hey, more sports means more titles, means more dominance in the Big 12 and the national scene. Equestrian starts soon, so let's just go keep stacking the trophy case. That's all I got.
Yeah, Coach Maxwell. Coach Maxwell's on with us 12:05 Friday to talk equestrian. Thanks for your call, T-Rex. Oh, folding paper. Thanks for your call, T-Rex. Drake Toll, J.D. Piquel, Armstrong Sims. When we come back, we're playing Dead or Alive, the darkest game on this radio show. We'll be right back on Up-Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84 and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Allen Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs, even offering financing if that's needed. Everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Rolling back in on a Tuesday morning. Drake told JD Piquel, Armstrong Sim, Blonde Boys Power Hour, Up Tempo.
Bring it.
Today, we are playing Dead or Alive, where we take your very favorite sports figures from across eternity, all time, and we ask you, are they dead or are they alive?
Good.
Real quick.
Good.
Master Teague, dead or alive?
So we've
The
got
third.
We've got Armstrong Sims, JD Piquel. These 2 guys are squaring off. We're not going to bring a caller in today because it's new. You know, we want to get people's feet wet, get acclimated to this game. This is the hardest game we will play on Up Tempo.
I believe it.
This is.
I believe
I'm
it.
like not that good at the other game, so this is going to be really interesting.
15 names. I'm giving you guys
15?
a really good shot here.
Oh my gosh.
At trying 15? To nail down if they're dead or alive.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
So here we go. Number 1. Is Clyde Drexler dead or alive?
I think he's alive.
JD?
I think he's alive.
How old is Clyde Drexler if he's alive?
Clyde Drexler is 68 years old.
Armstrong?
81.
No, he's younger than that, right? He's like he played around Jordan's time.
Oh.
So he was like actually 68's too old. I'm gonna say he's 62.
That's not the point of the game, though.
62.
Right, but it's a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker's the age.
Okay,
he's alive.
He's gonna
62.
get it though.
Is Ernie Banks dead or alive?
We don't get to know. We have to find out at the end.
You know what? I'll tell you. Clyde Drexler's alive.
Heck yeah, he is.
Clyde Drexler, 58 years old.
Right, yeah,
in his living body. JD Piquel takes Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, okay.
We're on the board. We're not getting shut out today, boys and girls.
How about Ernie Banks? Is Ernie Banks dead or alive?
Ernie Dollar Banks is dead.
Armstrong?
He's alive.
How old is Ernie Banks?
Well, if he's dead,
what
is he alive or is he dead?
I cannot tell you that.
Well, it's not going to be a tiebreaker because one of us said he's dead and one of us said he's alive.
All right, that's a good point. I like the age guessing. I like the age guessing.
We already do that.
Is he alive?
We already do that.
Is he alive?
Ernie Banks is dead.
There we go.
So JD's up 2-0.
There we go.
2-0.
Okay.
We're not getting shut out today, baby.
Mean Joe Green, the namesake of North Texas.
Dang. He's dead.
We got.
I think he's dead.
He's dead, man.
Mean Joe Green, if you're out there listening in your 74-year-old body, I'm very sorry that neither of these guys know that you're very alive today.
Joe Green.
Moses
Coke commercial guy.
Malone, basketball player Moses Malone, dead or alive?
Isn't his son Post Malone?
Yep. A lot happened for that to
Moses
go down.
Malone.
And then dead.
I've got dead here.
Moses Malone. You said basketball player?
Yeah. NBA basketball player Moses Malone.
Not Karl Malone. Moses Malone. I'm going to say he's alive because I haven't heard that name.
Moses Malone is dead.
Yes.
Dang.
He would have been 65 today, Armstrong. You're on the board for the first time.
First time, baby.
How about Bart Starr, Super Bowl MVP Bart Starr?
He's dead.
I got a dead.
Dead.
We've got 2 deads, and he is. Bart, you're not watching today, but if you were, you'd be proud of these guys. Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, dead or alive?
He's dead.
I think he's dead.
Wilt the Stilt, dead. He's been dead for like 2 decades.
I was going to be upset if I missed that one.
That's one of the
He's
easier
like a really
ones.
noticeable, like he's a very noteworthy.
I'm saving some of the
sports
tougher
character.
ones for later on. How about Michael Johnson, the fastest man in the world?
You answer first.
Alive.
He's alive.
Ah, nice. Michael Johnson is alive. And where did he go to college? Baylor University.
Cornell.
Fastest. Yeah, no.
He would have transferred real quick.
Fastest
He's like,
man.
I'm faster than everybody here by a lot of seconds.
I hope, like, here's the deal, guys. Do you understand
No
that
shade
this
at
game is not
Cornell's
remotely
crack team.
easy? That, like, so far, it's like I am puzzled knowing that some of these people are dead or alive that I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, they're still walking on Earth. And I was like, I thought that guy had been dead for a while.
Ninja Green was a tough one.
How about Hank Aaron, dead or alive?
3, 2, 1.
Dead.
Yes.
Hank Aaron's alive.
No
Hank Aaron?
way.
He is 86.
Are we sure?
No way.
He's 86. He's walking the earth right
way.
now. Hank Aaron's alive.
I'm from Atlanta too. That's really frustrating.
He
I missed
lives
that
in
one.
lore. I think
a
that's what it
bad
is. It's
deal.
like everybody's like, oh, Hank Aaron's alive.
Where's lore?
Oh, okay. Willie Mays.
3, 2, 1.
Dead. Is he alive? No
Willie
way.
Mays is alive too.
No way.
Willie Mays.
I
You
hope
guys-
he watches the show.
You
You
guys
got a
have
picture of
gotten
this Hank
3.
Aaron.
We started so hot.
You guys have gotten 3 of these. Okay.
Not I. I've gotten. I
You've
think
gotten
4,
2. He's gotten 1. Okay, you've
I
gotten
gotten
4.
1.
He's got, yeah.
I think.
How about Dick Butkus?
Alive.
I think he's alive.
Dick Butkus is alive.
Yeah.
Good.
I thought that one would stump you.
I was close.
Somehow,
almost did.
Hank Aaron didn't stump you.
Yeah, dude. I
Or
really
did
thought
stump
it was
you. I thought, Hank Aaron's
Dang,
so
man.
alive.
He does live in lore.
John
Nice house.
Madden.
Ooh.
Dead.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
John Madden's alive.
Really?
The
He's
video game's
84.
dead. Or NCAA is dead, I guess.
You guys, I can't get no
His
respect.
career is dead.
I thought he died.
He hasn't done anything in years.
I thought he
I
legit
thought she
died.
was
I thought that's
dead.
why he just disappeared from
He's
the face
like
of the earth
been-
because
yeah,
he
He
just
also
He's
died.
doesn't do the he
groundhog.
doesn't do the voice of Madden anymore either,
Yeah,
which
he
is
only comes out
really
like he hasn't done the voice of
frustrating.
Madden in over a decade, probably.
which is really frustrating.
He only comes out of his cave probably once every few moons. Like what's the last thing John Madden did?
Why is the game so called Madden?
I don't know.
That's
That's a good question. I don't know.
Maybe it's the
I don't
brand.
know.
All right. How about Otto Graham? NFL quarterback Otto Graham.
Dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say dead.
He is dead. This is like he was like one of the first guys to ever throw a forward pass in the NFL. He would have been
Sammy Baugh, also one of
Whoa,
the invented the
legend.
forward pass.
Yeah.
TCU alum.
If Otto Graham was alive
Invented
today,
it.
he'd be 99 years old though. How about this? Walter Payton, dead or alive?
Dead.
Walter Payton, all-star running back. Walter Payton.
Oh yeah. I also will say dead.
He is dead. He would have been 67 today though. Like, it's a reasonable age.
Really sad.
Yeah.
We got 2 more left here. Ted Williams, dead or alive?
Dude, I don't even know who Ted Williams is.
Ted Williams, legendary baseball
Yeah,
player.
baseball. He's dead.
Well, now I'm saying dead because you said dead.
Because Armstrong knows. Yeah, he would have been 103 today.
Yeah.
But he's dead.
Okay.
He's really dead. He was dead. He lived a long.
He was a long.
Dang
He was
it.
a long time ago.
He was
Gosh,
born in
dang it.
1918.
We're gonna get some upset calls from Ted Williams' family.
Last one here, and this one like tripped me up too. Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
He's alive.
I think he's
right?
dead.
We've got a dead and we have an alive. He is at the ripe age of 57, still alive.
Yeah, because
Hakeem
he's been in
Olajuwon.
commercials.
So who did I
I've seen
think
him in
was? Who did I think that
commercials
was? Monte Bull or Manute Bull?
Manute Bol is dead.
Manute Bull's dead.
Manute Bol is dead.
Bull is
Hakeem the
Bol
Dream
Bol's
Olajuwon is very alive.
He's alive, 57. That is, man, the call lines are blowing up right now.
Can I do a crazy left turn to get to a text? It said Master Teague did his workout there, but it wasn't enough. Also, Master Teague stepped in for Trey Sermon when we all thought Trey Sermon was going to be the game changer.
Master Teague's a legend.
Master Teague is probably one of the greatest. Master Teague, the third. You know how many Masters had to be before him? 2. Quick math.
Stellar name.
Quick
but
maths.
Guys, dead or alive today. It's a
tough.
complicated game.
It is a complicated game.
Congratulations to JD on winning Dead or Alive.
yeah,
I'm
he
impressed. I didn't think you would win today.
I didn't think I'd win either, but I wake up every day and surprise myself.
You did.
Wow.
Next
You
week,
know?
we'll do it all over again with actors and actresses. Because that right there, those are sports people.
That's
it
fun.
does not get any easier than that.
Dude, I probably shot like 50, 60%.
We have a lot of apology letters to send out this week.
Yeah, we're going to get some angry calls.
I'm
we
Drake
might
Toll.
get canceled.
That's JD Piquel, Blonde Boys Power Hour, Armstrong Sims. How about a little bit of Armstrong's Minute? Hit a break and come right back on Up Tempo.
Around the horn in college athletics last night, the number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide capped off a perfect 13-0 season with a dominating 52-24 win over Ohio State to claim their 6th national championship in the last 12 seasons.
Play action. Jones steps up right down the middle of the field. It's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. A truly special performance by the Heisman Trophy winner. 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Heisman winner Devontae Smith was named MVP for the game after notching 12 catches, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first half alone, leaving the game early due to a dislocated finger. With the win, Nick Saban has now passed Bear Bryant with 7 national championship victories. In men's basketball, just one game of note took place last night with number 25 UConn beating unranked DePaul 60-53 on the road. And tonight's bout between number 2 Baylor and number 13 West Virginia in the Farrell Center has been canceled due to the Mountaineers not meeting COVID protocol. The Bears' next game will be on Saturday at Texas Tech. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84, and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Allen Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of health care while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of health care has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrapped fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, bringing it back in the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Drake Toll alongside Armstrong Sims. We are joined by Ron Counts of the Idaho Statesman, coming on to talk a little bit of Jeremiah Dickey action, moving on to the athletic director role from Baylor to Boise State as the new AD. Ron, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So, Ron, here's where we'll start. You guys, you got our boy. You've had our boy for about a week and a half now. Is he safe and sound? You guys feeding him all right? How's he doing?
He's doing well. I asked him how he was dealing with the cold out here. He said it was no problem. He spent some time in Akron, and there's nothing colder than a Midwest winter, so he's settling in nicely. He seems like a guy that knows how to get things done. I mean, him hiring Andy Avalos as that head coach is a big win for him. There's a lot of ways he could have gone with this hire. He could have gone outside the program. Graham Harrell was mentioned, Brian Johnson was mentioned, Jeff Choate was mentioned. It was important for a lot of Boise State folks for him to keep this hire in the family, in the program, and I think that's a win for him right away. So for a guy like Jeremiah Dickey, you get the athletic director job at Boise State, which is a Power 5 school outside of the Power 5. I mean, everybody knows the brand, the name Boise State. For a guy you hire as athletic director and say, oh, hey, also, we need a new football coach if you can. That's got to be a stressful time, and I mean, it seems like he's moving quickly, though. Absolutely. The first words he said was he promised to move diligently but swiftly in this hire. And he said that he arrived in town, dropped his wife off, and hasn't really seen her for a week. He's really been on the road. We know he flew to Bozeman to meet with Jeff Choate. He flew to Eugene to meet with Avalos. There's rumors that he met with Graham Harrell, potentially in Las Vegas. So he's been on the road. He really did do his due diligence. He's a guy that I think just checked all the boxes for Boise State in their AD search. So, he has a background in fundraising. He raised money at a historic level at Houston. He's hired some amazing coaches like Dave Aranda, Major Applewhite, Tom Herman. He's been in those discussions. So he's been in the fire and he's been tested. So now he's reaping the rewards. Ron, are you giving him credit for hiring Tom Herman? I don't think that's the name you can name drop on the Baylor radio show. I mean, just because he's had a few down seasons. Come on, let's not forget what he's done. I agree. I was on the extend Tom Herman train. I would have loved to have seen him in Austin a couple more years. But for a guy like Jeremiah Dickey, when you look at Boise State, obviously the athletic director search, ton of names up in the air. When you found out, hey, here's our guy, here's who we're going with, and you read up on who Dickey is, were you excited? What was the fan base's reaction? I think there was a little bit of concern at first. There were some internal candidates. One in particular, Brad Larondo. He's beloved by former players, by fans. He'd been at Boise State since the mid-'90s, really worked his way up. He's now at Auburn. So, this is a very tight-knit community. They're all about the Boise State culture, the Boise State brand, the Boise State family. So there was maybe some concern early on. But I think when you look at the places that Jeremiah Dickey's been, he's been successful everywhere. We talked about the fundraising at Houston. They sold tickets at an all-time rate at Houston. He helped rebuild that Baylor brand, hiring Matt Rule. So I think he's won everywhere he's been. For a guy like Dickey, who was the associate vice president for intercollegiate athletics under Mack Rhoades at Baylor, he came into a Baylor program that was a dumpster fire from a football standpoint after being riddled with scandal. I think that's the nicest way to put it. And put the pieces back together to help lead a program to 11 wins within a couple of seasons. Obviously, a ton of credit to Matt Rule and Mack Rhoades, but Jeremiah was in the middle of that and is a catalyst for why that happened. Tell me, what is the current state of Boise State athletics? It's got to be better than what Baylor was when he got here. It's definitely cleaner for sure, but it's not without controversy. Boise State's not been at best of odds with the Mountain West here in the last couple months. Back in last January, they sued the conference over their new TV deal. That was because the conference was going to end a $1.8 million bonus Boise State was getting in TV revenue every year. There was emails surfaced in the last month or so about Brian Harsin suggesting they should leave the conference, maybe for the AAC. So there's been some ruffled feathers there, but no, there's no controversy at this point. But it's great for Dickey to have gone through that, because when you've experienced that, when you've lived that, you know how to handle if it does come up. For a guy that's never experienced that, maybe they get lost in the fire. Maybe they don't know what to do when those circumstances arrive. So he's been through it and he's been tested.
For a guy like Dave Aranda, I remember when he first came to Baylor, he had never been a head coach before and had never really dealt with the media at the level he did when he got to Waco. So his first few press conferences, he was still timid. Took a little bit for Coach Aranda to open up to, hey, here's 15 cameras in your face. For a guy like Jeremiah Dickey, it seems almost the same, where he had been the assistant or the vice president, never really at the front of things. How has he handled things with the media so far and being the face of Boise State athletics as the AD?
I'd say his introductory press conference was a big win for him too. I mean, he seemed very genuine, very personable. He got emotional a couple of times talking about his family, talking about the coaches and the athletic directors that had been mentors for him. So I think he definitely won some points there. I think he's a guy that understands what people want in a college football program. They want their coaches, their administrators, to seem as irrational as fans are sometimes. They want them to believe that it's all this culture and family and hard work, and Jeremiah really sells that very well. And he believes it. He talked about his faith a lot. He seems like a very genuine person that's going to win a lot of people over. And here in Boise, that means a lot.
You talked about the culture at Boise and how it's a tight-knit family. I'm not sure. It's tough to explain kind of the Baylor family, the Baylor bubble. You come into a private school, a Christian university, but to know that he's moving into what sounds like another bubble that's tight-knit and close and unified, how well do outsiders fit in there? Has the community opened him with welcome arms? I mean, tell me, they're not chewing him up and spitting him out yet, are they?
No, not at all. Not at all. Everyone here has been way, way too polite. I mean, I thought this was Minnesota. People are so polite here. I myself am still a newcomer here. I just moved here last fall from Virginia, so I'm kind of in the same boat. Everyone's been polite. Everyone's been welcoming. Boise's a great little town to raise a family. It's got a big city feel, but there's not big city crime. There's not big city congestion. The cost of living is a little higher than I'd like it to be. But that's more of a journalism salary discussion than a cost of living discussion. But no, I think he's really going to fit in well here. I think the people are going to really embrace him. I think the more he's busy building that staff right now, meeting all those guys. He's got to dive into that budget. He promised a deep dive on all their finances and all their facilities. So I think he's going to have a busy couple months ahead of him.
I know you might not have insider take on this, but has our boy Jeremiah Dickey slept since he got to Boise?
He definitely had some darker circles around his eyes on Saturday than he did when he got here originally.
Wow. Well, I tell you, too, with him coming down and making that hire, bringing Avalos on, I'm reading a tweet right now. It says, in January of 2000, this from Andy Avalos, the new Boise State head football coach, I looked out these windows as an 18-year-old recruit. So he's looking at the windows at the Boise State football stadium, the big blue field. That hire that Jeremiah Dickey made, bringing Avalos on, how big was that, not just for Boise State and Avalos, but to show Dickey's credibility?
Oh, huge. It was huge. Like I said, he could have gone so many different ways with his hire. Brian Johnson, Graham Harrell, both have been really splashy hires. There was a certain segment of the alumni base that loved Jeff Choate, but he just could not go wrong with Andy Avalos. He's a guy that everyone here knows. He played at Boise State. He coached at Boise State. Chris Peterson hired him at Boise State. He was the defensive coordinator from 2016 to 18. Recruits already know him. He probably recruited maybe 30-40% of the current roster at Boise State right now. So he already has those relationships. So I think in terms of credibility, you're right. He could have really hurt himself in trying to go for those big names that don't understand the Boise State brand. But in staying in the family and hiring the obvious candidate, I think he really did protect himself and kind of insulate himself from getting disparaged in the future if that outside coach didn't work out.
And how much have you guys heard from Avalos so far? Does it seem like he's coming back home? Is this going to be a fit for him, the university, and the fans that is cohesive from the start?
Oh, absolutely. He told me when he got off the plane on Saturday that they couldn't get on the plane fast enough. He's so excited to be home. He loves this place. He loves this town. And the people here love him. I mean, he can really do no wrong right now.
So I tell you, we're with Ron Counts here, the Idaho Statesman, talking about Boise State's hire of Jeremiah Dickey as the athletic director there. So Broncos Sports Nation, obviously, like you said, tight-knit group, a family. But the real questions come down to community, and really, when you get into the meat of it, it's restaurants. So we've been in contact with Jeremiah and talking about, when things settle down for him, bringing him on the show. But until then, we're still going to get out some virtual messages. So if you could give your restaurant reviews and your recommendations, being there for a year, like you said, where are you sending our guy to?
Oh, absolutely. So for breakfast, I'm sending him to Goldie's. Their eggs Benedict are amazing. They're out of this world. For a nice date night, I'm sending him to Fork. Moderately priced, but a nice atmosphere. If you're into empanadas, there's a spot called Tango's that is just to die for. You really can't beat it. If Mediterranean food is your thing, the Food and Land Market is a Mediterranean grocery store with a food counter in the back. Best falafels I've ever had. About 40 minutes from here, there's a pupusa place in Caldwell, Idaho. That's just amazing. I'd pay $100 for one of those pupusas. It's so good. You really can't go wrong. The restaurant scene in Boise is pretty tough.
And then bringing it back around to the real meat of the questions, and just for you, from a writer standpoint, sports media standpoint, thinking 5 years from now, if you look back on the previous 5 and see what Jeremiah Dickey has done in the athletic program, what are marks or goals that he needs to hit in the next 5 years that'll make his time in Boise a success?
Well, obviously, continuing that conference championship streak. Boise State's been in 4 straight conference championship games. But really, the barometer of success at Boise State for many years was a New Year's Six bowl game. And they have not been in one since 2014. So getting back to that is huge. On the fundraising side of things, they've been promising a renovation to the east side of Albertson Stadium for years. Jeremiah mentioned that in his introductory press conference. Getting that ball rolling again will be huge, and really just finding a way to create some more cash in this department. You mentioned how much of a national brand Boise State is, but in terms of cash flow, they're bringing in 56, maybe 58 million a year. That's in the top 60 in the country. So they could improve there. I mean, there are some FCS programs that are making that much money a year, so they could definitely make some more money there. So continuing those winning ways and finding some more cash is going to be huge.
Not only that, and I'm kind of backtracking here, I had it written down to ask, away from football, how much emphasis is there on Dickey to bring in or have a consistent coaching staff and consistent success in other athletics, volleyball, men's, women's basketball, and the like?
That's definitely a concern. Boise State is definitely a football school. Their men's basketball team is challenging that this year. They're going to be a good program. But in terms of money, I mean, the Boise State football program is the university. In 2019, they brought in $26 million in revenue. And as I mentioned, Boise State only brings in 56 or 58 a year. So that's almost half the revenue. Football, men's basketball, and maybe women's basketball are the only programs in the school that are actually making money. So that's part of the discussion for a conference move. If there is a move to the AAC per se, are they going to take the other sports, or are they going to have to go to the Big Sky? They're going to go back to the Western Athletic Conference. How is that going to work out? So I football is the emphasis. But I would definitely say that there is a focus on the other sports. They're not just forgetting them.
Yeah, and Ron, how likely is that, too? I know I'm keeping a little bit over time here, but how likely is that Boise State ends up making a move? And is there a chance that Dickey's a catalyst in that in moving conferences?
Quite possibly. He has connections to the AAC. It's been a discussion for years. People here would love to see Boise State in the Pac-12, but that's probably not going to happen because they're not a Tier 1 research university like the rest of those Pac-12 schools. The AAC is the most likely destination. There's going to be a little bit more added travel costs, but again, are they going to take the rest of the sports? Does it make sense for the AAC just to take Boise State, or maybe do they pull San Diego State out of there? Do they pull Air Force out of there? There's just so many moving parts. It's really hard to say at this point.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know how much say I have in this, but I would like to personally invite you and the entire Boise State athletic program to the Big 12. Congratulations, Ron.
Hey, thank you. We accept. I will accept for everyone.
I love it. All right, Ron, I got one last thing that we do on this show is ask all of our guests and callers our Bear Games questions of the day. So we've got Baylor's second best bracket where we break down the second best player of the last decade in football that's not named RG3 because that would be unfair. So I'm going to save you from those, though, because it's just a bunch of questions about old Baylor guys that you may not have heard of. But I'll give you this, though. You can live in one mansion rent-free for the rest of your life, but it has to be with one Big 12 foot. Who you living with and why? I'll tell you this. The callers we've had on the show so far today, every person they picked, they've solely picked so they could hold them for either ransom money or other terrible things. So if you could give me like some kind of positive or friendly answer, that would be very much accepted on this show.
If I'm holding someone hostage, it's not a coach, it's Baker Mayfield. I can tell you that right now. If I'm moving into a mansion with one coach, it's got to be Les Miles. That guy just seems like he has an endless array of stories. It seems like nothing ever bothers him. It just seems like it would be like a harmonious living every day.
Harmonious living. I more pictured as Les Miles is on the roof of the house in a robe, smoking a cigar at 3 a.m. And that's where you find him when somebody's like, hey, where did Les go? And he's got sunglasses on and nobody really knows what's going on and neither does he. But that's Les Miles and you love it.
It's less is going to less.
Oh, my gosh. Ron, thanks so much. That is Ron Counts of the Idaho Statesman coming on talking Jeremiah Dickey, making the move to athletic director at Boise State. Ron, thanks again for coming on today.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. We got Armstrong's Minute, a quick break, and we'll be right back on Up Tempo.
Around the horn in college athletics last night, the number one Alabama Crimson Tide capped off a perfect 13-0 season with a dominating 52-24 win over Ohio State to claim their sixth national championship in the last 12 seasons.
Be ready to come back on.
Thanks again for coming on. Down the middle of the field, it's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. A truly special performance by the Heisman Trophy winner. 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Heisman winner Devontae Smith was named MVP for the game after notching 12 catches, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first half alone, leaving the game early due to a dislocated finger. With the win, Nick Saban has now passed Bear Bryant with 7 national championship victories. In men's basketball, just one game of note took place last night with number 25 UConn beating unranked DePaul 60-53 on the road. And tonight's bout between number 2 Baylor and number 13 West Virginia in the Farrell Center has been canceled due to the Mountaineers not meeting COVID protocol. The Bears' next game will be on Saturday at Texas Tech. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
Don Humidor, your home with a 48-foot walk-in humidor with the elite cigar brands from around the world, including the #1 cigar of the year, Aging Room Cuatro Nicaragua. Plus, they have the great brands like Macanudo and Artur Fuente, Rocky Patel, Aston, and so much more. CBD, great for sore muscles, aches and pains, sleep, Vita Dreams, and anxiety, mild depression, general health and wellness. Their staff very knowledgeable on the subject. If anyone is curious about CBD, ask Carol and Ashley. Don Humidor in the Townwest Shopping Center off Valley Mills in Waco.
What you do in privacy is your own business. What you do in public with your truck, well, that's our business at Pickup Outfitters. In your garage, it's okay for your truck to parade around in the nude with no accessories. Hey, this is still America. But when you bring your truck out in public, it's just common decency to put an outfit on your truck. And that's where we come in at Pickup Outfitters. Put a cover on that bed. Cover your rear end with a bumper and a hitch, for goodness sakes. There are women and children on the roads. And guys, don't leave your tool tools exposed? Put up your truck and stand tall with a lift kit. Or improve your truck's posture with a leveling kit. Add some class to your pickup with new wheels and tires. Or dress up for a date with your new RV or boat with a fifth wheel or a receiver hitch. At Pickup Outfitters, we're dedicating to making the roads decent for all Central Texans. So when taking your truck out in public, remember your manners and accessorize it properly with an outfit from Pickup Outfitters. 220 Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former star, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the P Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men, special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, happy Tuesday, folks. Bringing it back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I'm Drake Toll. Armstrong Sims is over there running the computer stuff. Thanks, Armstrong. And we are talking college football today. Tell you what, we would have been talking basketball had it not been for the I can scat too. Had it not been for the fact that Baylor men's basketball was canceled today against West Virginia. They canceled their media yesterday. Otherwise, we would have heard from Scott Drew. We also had, I'm sure they would have brought Jared Butler on as well. But how about this? So today, Dave Campbell's Texas high school football. I say high school, it's Texas football. I know them for high school, but they've got a whole outlet of collegiate coverage. Today, Shehan Jeraraha has released his way too early power rankings for Texas collegiate football next year. Okay, Armstrong, who do you think is the bottom team on this list for next year in college football in Texas?
In the whole state? Of all D1 colleges?
Yep.
I'm going to go with, I don't know. Is UTEP a one?
UTEP is number 12. They went 3-8 last year, and they are the bottom-ranked team in the state of Texas coming into next year. So for all of our UTEP minor fans out there, wish I had a little soundboard. That womp, womp. Very sorry. UTEP last on the list. Number 11, the North Texas Mean Green, 2020 record, 0. There's just nothing on here. North Texas might not have played this past year. There are a couple teams that didn't or just didn't have as many games. Texas State Bobcats at number 10. Number 9, the Rice Owls, which I wholeheartedly disagree with because quarterback Giovanni Johnson is back, who I knew really well in high school, and he beat Marshall this year, undefeated Marshall. Number 8, so here's where we get into the meat of this list. Number 8, Armstrong. It's not a Power 5 school, but it's a school that's been typically pretty good at football, and Dana Holgerson is their head coach. They're number 8 in the way too early preseason rankings in Texas.
You want me to guess?
Yeah.
Even though you told me their head coach's name?
I literally told you their head coach's name.
It's Houston.
It's Houston. It's Houston. I'm glad. I was kind of worried.
I was like, okay, I was going to guess Houston anyways before you said Dayton.
Yeah, Houston went 3-5 this last season, 3-3 in the AAC. So here's what we got. The top 7 right here. We're breaking it down. Texas collegiate football teams coming into next season.
Yeah.
This is via Dave Campbell's Texas football. Number 7, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. On the way too early power rankings.
Really, below SMU?
Below SMU. Oh, but SMU's been good.
Have we gone through Rice yet?
We have. Rice was 9.
Oh,
Rice was 9.
My bad.
Texas Tech at 7. They went 4-6 this year. They went 3-6 in the Big 12. Texas Tech won 3. They had no business winning 3 games in the Big 12 this year, but they did. 4-6. Texas Tech. Did they play in a bowl?
Texas Tech?
Yeah. I don't think they played in a
bowl.
bowl.
I don't believe so.
They could have at 3-6 though. Because there were a bunch of teams with 3 wins that played in the bowl. Number 6, I'll give you a hint. Mike Singletary.
So it's obviously Baylor.
It's the Baylor Bears at number 6. They went 2.
I think that's fair.
I think it's. I do too. Key returners: Terrell Bernard,
Yeah, definitely.
R.J. Sneed, Raleigh Tejada. Did they just forget that Jalen Petrie exists on the face of this planet? Or Treston Ebner, second-team All-American? I got a bone to pick with whoever wrote this in Texas. Dave Campbell, Texas football. Baylor coming in at number 6 on the way too early top 10 list, or the way too early Texas football list for collegiate teams next season. This says, after the disastrous offensive performance in 2020, I think disastrous is probably a pretty good word to explain it.
I think so too.
Larry Fedora, Joe Wickline, and George Munoz are out. Jeff Grimes, Eric Mateos, and Chancey Stuckey are in. I love the Chancey Stuckey hire.
Yeah, me too.
Larry Fedora gone. I wonder what Fedora's up to now. I want to keep wraps on that guy.
Yeah,
because I know he's probably looking for a head coaching job somewhere. There's plenty of offensive talent to work with on the roster. 4 talented quarterbacks will fight for the starting job. How about that? A 4-quarterback battle. Who else in the country can say they got 4 quarterbacks duking it out for the starting position? Receiver R.J. Sneed is a star in the making. Getting Mateos and Grimes in the door to work with the offensive line could have major benefits. The Bears have struggled at that position for 5 years now. How about a new Baylor offensive lineman, too, that we released, Grant Miller, last week on the afternoon show? Speaking of David Smoak, Paul Catalina, Craig Smoak, every day, 3 to 6. They had Grant Miller last week, the center from Vanderbilt, who you got to think he's going to start next season at Baylor. Mm-hmm. If you can pick up 1 or 2 more of those guys out of the transfer portal, you're looking at a really good chance to win 7 games next year. I think it's doable. But also I feel like, okay, if Baylor goes 5, we're going to stick to Baylor for a second. This is a Baylor sports program. If Baylor goes 5-7 next year, which, mind you, they should have done this year. They typically don't play very good non-conference teams. If they would have played the typical Rice, Texas State, and Abilene Christian, they would have been 5-7 this year, gone to a bowl, because you can do that now. You can go 5-7 and go to a bowl. So then if Baylor goes 5-7 again next year, are you disappointed? Are you disappointed or are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
That would constitute them, if they go 5-7, likely going 3-0 in non-conference.
I'm a little disappointed. I would be a little disappointed. I would think I would want a 6-win season at least.
Yeah, are we asking too much though? If we ask for 6 wins from Baylor, are we asking for too much? That's the question now.
Maybe.
Let's put that on Twitter.
Okay.
Are we asking too much for Baylor to win 6 games next year?
Are you doing this or am I?
You can do it. I'll let you do it.
Are we asking too much for Baylor to win? Okay. And by the way, go vote on our Twitter polls. #UpTimPolls on Twitter.
So, yes, that's a question out there. Just put it out there on the restream. Is asking 6 wins to Baylor too much next year? So they're at number 6. Baylor is. I think if Baylor goes 7-5, I'm happy. That could happen with them still losing to Boise State. That's Baylor going 5-4 in Big 12 play, and then 2-1 in non-conference play. That's 7 wins. You got to win 5 games in the Big 12 if you lose to BYU. But I don't know. I think the BYU Baylor game is still up in the air. I'm glad that game right now is buried on October 16th. I think by then Baylor will be ready to play BYU. Again, I'm much more scared of BYU in the first 3 weeks of the season than I am in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
I think Baylor's got an advantage there. Once you get warmed up, you played a couple Big 12 games, you know what you got, No secrets at that point. Baylor loses quarterback Charlie Brewer, John Lovett, and William Bradley King. I am one of those names on there I'm really disappointed about. That's on the defensive side of the ball, too.
I figured.
Number 5 in the state of Texas, TCU Horned Frogs, which I think that's a toss-up. That game's at TCU next year. That's an effective home game for Baylor some years, Yeah. I mean, TCU gets there. I was there when John Mayers kicked that 53-yard field goal. I was there for that, or 51. The place went berserk because there were a lot of Baylor fans there. 6-4 key returners for TCU. Max Duggan. I think Max Duggan will be a junior next year too. He's one of those guys like Kellen Mond where you're like, man, that guy has been there a long time. Max Duggan comes back. Zach Evans and Ocon Mathis. Then key losses, Trevin Morig. I don't know. It's TCU. Ardarius Washington and Garrett Wallow. So they're picked at 5. Baylor's at 6. SMU at 4. They went 7-3 this year. They did not finish very hot. They did not look very good. They lose Shane Buechele. They lose Brandon Stevens and Eric Sutton as well. Yeah, you get some guys back. I don't know. I think Baylor's probably better than SMU next year. You know? Like, if they played, I wouldn't be that scared. Quarterback coach.
SMU's good, though.
Replacing offensive coordinator and quarterback coach Sonny Cumbie. Okay, Sonny Cumbie is gone. The biggest question facing the Horned Frogs. That's at TCU. I don't know where I... Number 3. Who's number 3 in the state of Texas next year? We're down to, oh, God.
From your reaction, I'm going to say it's Texas.
I am now reading, I get this, guys. I get it. I get it. Texas at 3. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Texas being ahead of Baylor and TCU. It's just, I've gotten used to that. But at number 2, we're missing a team, Armstrong. Like, I can't believe this is on here. I can't believe this is on here. Who's number 2 in the state of Texas next year? Oh, my God.
I can't think. It's not A&M because they're going to say A&M's number 1.
A&M is number 1. A&M's number 1.
Who did we miss?
Yeah, exactly. After a 7-5 season this year, Dave Campbell's Texas football is giving the nod to the University of Texas at San Antonio as the second best team in the state of Texas next season.
Is this compared to their competition?
No.
Or is this like overall?
This is power rankings for all of Texas. Baylor is at 6. UTSA is at number 2 in Texas next year in the way too early power rankings for the state of Texas. You're kidding. UTSA and Baylor next year square off, and you're telling me Baylor is a dog in that game? Number 2, which they don't square off next year. They don't square off. But you're telling me Baylor, Texas is a dog against UTSA. But Baylor's also got the disparity of 4 places behind UTSA, meaning if you ask Dave Campbell's Texas football right now, UTSA beats Baylor by a touchdown or more, double digits maybe. Is nobody else angered by this? Is there not somewhere we can send letters to or someone we can talk to? I would personally like to speak to the manager. Wow. UTSA at number 2, Dave Campbell's Texas football. Number 1, the Texas A&M Aggies. Jimbo Fisher's Texas A&M Aggies are here, and they are here to stay, apparently. The Aggies put together one of the best seasons in program history, culminating with an Orange Bowl, and they will start the season at the top of the state. Aggies created their biggest mismatches in the front 7, and that won't change soon. They bring back many of the leaders in the defensive resurgence, including Leal, Jaden Peavy, Aaron Hansford. Offensively, they have Haynes King, Zach Calzada, Eli Stowers will compete too. So those are the 3 guys that are competing to replace Kellen Mond. The biggest question mark for the team comes up front of the offensive line. Dan Moore, Ryan McCollum, and Jared Hawker are all off to the NFL. However, All-American Kenyon Green and strong O-line coach Josh Henson give us enough confidence that the situation will work itself out. Us, not being me, up-tempo us being Dave Campbell's Texas football that has UTSA at number 2 in the state of Texas. You know what I want to know? In 2019, when Baylor won 11 games, where did they start in that preseason ranking? I can find out. I will find out.
Probably pretty low. Probably about 6.
Probably 6. But that's where Baylor always starts.
Yeah.
Every year. It doesn't matter how good they are. It's like, Baylor, maybe they'll be good, you know? But this right here, the disrespect to put Baylor at 6 and UTSA at 2. They get Sincere McCormick back. I've seen him play a couple times. I like Sincere McCormick a lot. He's a good running back. He may be the best player in Texas next year. Yeah, I think it's safe to say. He could end up being the best player in Texas. Sincere McCormick is a good running back. But that doesn't constitute being number 2 in the entire state of Texas. How bad does Texas football have to be that even sports media members are picking them below UTSA? What does that say more about, Texas or UTSA? I think it says more about Texas. Unless we're setting a standard for Texas they just can't meet.
I think it says something about UT. I mean, clearly they see something in UTSA that, right? I mean, clearly they see something there.
I don't see it.
Yeah, but
I don't see them being number 2 in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Jeez, we got to hit a commercial break. Armstrong's Minute, commercial break. Look, I was having a great Tuesday. Until you read this list. I didn't even preview the list before we started talking about it on the air. I just saw it and was like, oh, yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to break that down. And now I feel awful. I feel worse for it. UTSA at number 2.
By the way, the author of this article, right, is a Baylor guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Sheehan.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, Shehan. I'm sorry.
Shehan, my bad.
I don't know what to say. Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims. Taking Armstrong's Minute. Quick break, right back. And, hey, we're 25 minutes away. Mr. Bill, Miss Mary, if you're still on with us, I hope you are. Sam and Holly Hall Niver, are coming on the show in 25 minutes. I'm Drake Toll, that's Armstrong Sims. This, Up-Tempo.
Around the horn in college athletics last night, the number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide capped off a perfect 13-0 season with a dominating 52-24 win over Ohio State to claim their 6th national championship in the last 12 seasons.
Play action. Jones steps up right down the middle of the field. It's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. A truly special performance by the Heisman Trophy winner. 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Heisman winner Devontae Smith was named MVP for the game after notching 12 catches, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first half alone, leaving the game early due to a dislocated finger. With the win, Nick Saban has now passed Bear Bryant with 7 national championship victories. In men's basketball, just one game of note took place last night with number 25 UConn beating unranked DePaul 60-53 on the road. And tonight's bout between number 2 Baylor and number 13 West Virginia in the Farrell Center has been canceled due to the Mountaineers not meeting COVID protocol. The Bears' next game will be on Saturday at Texas Tech. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
Don Humidor, your home with a 48-foot walk-in humidor with the elite cigar brands from around the world, including the #1 cigar of the year, Aging Room Cuatro Nicaragua. Plus, they have the great brands like Macanudo and Artur Fuente, Rocky Patel, Aston, and so much more. CBD, great for sore muscles, aches and pains, sleep, Vita Dreams, and anxiety, mild depression, general health and wellness. Their staff very knowledgeable on the subject. If anyone is curious about CBD, ask Carol and Ashley. Don Humidor in the Townwest Shopping Center off Valley Mills in Waco.
What you do in privacy is your own business. What you do in public with your truck, well, that's our business at Pickup Outfitters. In your garage, it's okay for your truck to parade around in the nude with no accessories. Hey, this is still America. But when you bring your truck out in public, it's just common decency to put an outfit on your truck. And that's where we come in at Pickup Outfitters. Put a cover on that bed. Cover your rear end with a bumper and a hitch, for goodness sakes. There are women and children on the roads. And guys, don't leave your tools exposed. Put them in a toolbox. Be proud of your truck and stand tall with a lift kit. Or improve your truck's posture with a leveling kit. Add some class to your pickup with new wheels and tires. Or dress up for a date with your new RV or boat with a fifth wheel or a receiver hitch. At Pickup Outfitters, we're dedicating to making the roads decent for all Central Texans. So when taking your truck out in public, remember your manners and accessorize it properly with an outfit from Pickup Outfitters. 220 Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and 2-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Armstrong, what's the only thing better than Threes Day?
Threes Day?
Tuesday! It's Tuesday on Up Tempo. Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims. Here on our 12 o'clock hour, rounding out the 12 o'clock hour again, Sam and Holly Hall will join us momentarily. It's 1:05. They're going to come on the show. And Sam sent me a text and said, sorry that my family hijacked your radio show earlier this week. That last week, I thought that was awesome. That was awesome. How about this? Call us 254-339-1122, breaking down last night's national championship, doing some men's basketball talk, and then the SicEm Pick'em. We're going to pick all the games in college basketball we're going to see tonight, including the game that will never be, Baylor and West Virginia. Give our analysis of what could have been tonight. Before that, though, national championship talk. Congratulations. Wish I had the little pad. Yay. To the Texas Longhorns on winning a national championship last night, their first since 2006. That right there, a picture, if you can see it on our YouTube or our live feed, it is two guys holding hands, celebrating Alabama's national championship as their own, both Texas and Texas A&M, because A&M lost by the same margin, same score as Ohio State. So effectively, Texas A&M, congratulations. You also share this. It feels like the 60s when there was like no real national champion. Like 1964. You know who won the national title that year? I can tell you this, Armstrong, you don't, because no one does. It's supposed to be Arkansas, but also Alabama's like, hey, we kind of won a national championship too. Because that's how things used to go before the BCS. It was like, all right, who wants to be national champions? Everybody could be UCF collectively. Like, you know what? We feel as though we probably were national champions this year. Let's go ahead and say we were.
Okay, but UCF had a legit argument.
We're going to bypass that? As if
they did have a legit argument.
Never said it. They wouldn't. The year they beat Auburn.
It doesn't matter whether they wouldn't or would have or wouldn't have.
They still don't beat. They
beat
Alabama.
Beat everyone they played, and they beat a team that beat the quote unquote national champion.
I guess. Talking outside or still staying in college football. So Texas loses last night. I guess great. You know in college football, Texas loses last night with Steve Sarkisian. Texas loses because of their social media presence just being so stinky. How everybody's like, yeah, that's the one. Texas football tweets, all gas, no brakes, horns up, Coach Sark. What? Texas, you had nothing to do with what happened last night. You had nothing to do. That's almost as bad. What is this?
Oh, this is their intro video for Coach Sark.
Oh, they have an intro video for Coach Sark now.
Oh. Just welcome to Texas.
Oh, jeez. That's almost as bad as them posting the Heisman picture. That was bad.
The Heisman picture was really
bad.
The
Heisman picture was worse the other night. I think they learned their lesson from that. But Coach Steve Sarkisian now making his way out to Texas. Butch Jones, who's also on that staff at Alabama, he's going to Arkansas State. How about this? CBS Sports today rates the Butch Jones hire at Arkansas State as an F on their coaches' rankings.
No way.
The coaching hire rankings. Jones was solid group of 5 coach at Central Michigan and Cincinnati, but drove Tennessee into the ground. The real Jones coached on Rocky Top, and a brief stint as Nick Saban's intern won't change him. So basically, CBS Sports says, hey, he was really good when not at a Power 5 school, and he's moving to a school that's not a Power 5 school, but they don't think he's going to be good. So many question marks. Talking college football, though. We got Matt in D.C. on the line. Impact Health Labs caller line. You're on with Up Tempo.
Appreciate it, guys. Hey, Drake, you think the way they used to choose champions back in the 60s are crazy? You need to watch that. If you haven't seen it, that ESPN 30 for 30 about, I think it's called like Nixon's Champions, where basically President Nixon went to the famous like 1969 Texas-Arkansas game and just made a trophy and gave it to Texas at the end of the game, while Penn State, I think they went undefeated, won the Orange Bowl, but since everyone saw the president named Texas, they got the title. So, I mean, imagine if the president just like chose his favorite teams, like, they're the champion, here's a trophy. I mean, we all want to complain about this college football playoff, but damn, the president used to just choose a champion.
How about this?
You know?
I remember that. It was a game of the century. We have one like every other year. But it was Arkansas was up 14-0 in the fourth quarter. Texas wins at 15-14. Nixon's in Fayetteville. There are pictures of Richard Nixon in the stands with fans at a football game. He didn't even get a box. He's in the stands at Fayetteville. And then he goes, you're right, I'm glad you brought this up, because he goes in the locker room, the Texas locker room post-game. The president just walks in and is like, all right, guys, congratulations on being national champions. What? Thanks for that, Matt in DC.
It's crazy, yeah. But back to the, I think it was the Texas football poll. Man, this just reaffirms how I'm starting to feel about the great magazine Texas Football. Over the years, as I've received it in the mail, they still mail it to me on the East Coast, so shout out to Dave Campbell and Texas Football. By the time I get it, so much has changed, even if it's only like a few weeks after, and just the writing and just the opinions have, it's just gone down over the years. And I feel like Texas Football has almost become obsolete, it's not due to their fault, just because there's so many websites now that you can look at any preview to any team up to date by the day. But hopefully the poll gets better. But for next year, with Baylor having so many Big 12 home games, you got Texas at home, Oklahoma at home. Iowa State's coming. I think our only two tough road games are going to be TCU and Oklahoma State.
Yep.
I mean, with all these home games, and if the defense stays pat and the offense can at least get to 30, I think we're going to break 7 wins, possibly 8 or 9.
Effective. What was that? Did you hear that, Armstrong? Matt, are you still there?
We lost him.
What was that? I've never heard that in my life. Did that go through on the feed too? The boo-doo-doot?
It did.
Wow. Matt, call back in. I'm not sure.
Our call dropped. Hold on a second.
Perfect. Yeah, Matt, call us back. Call us back because I want to finish that conversation because I can't, no comment. Dave Campbell, Texas high school football. I just associate it with high school because that's where I've been the last few years is covering high school. But I got to say, I really have a ton of respect for Dave Campbell and everything he's done for the sport.
Show recording is on.
And everything he's done for the sport.
Sorry.
But we're figuring it out. But that right there, UTSA at number 2 is just absurd. And I think Baylor calling TCU a tough road game, yeah, to an extent. But honestly, there are going to be a lot of Baylor fans there. Matt in DC's back on the line with us. Matt, I'm sorry about that. Armstrong's hijacking the show back there. Oh, we dropped him again. We good?
We're good. We should be able to get him on.
All right, Matt, call back in one more time. I'm not sure our system's going a little bit crazy right here. But next season, Baylor at 9 wins, I think, is a lot. That's saying a lot. There are a couple upsets on the way. But I like Dave Aranda's defense. The whole defense wins championships things, and the defense in the Big 12 is becoming stronger and stronger as the years go. So I think Baylor's defense is going to help them out a lot. Oh, Matt, DC, you're almost up with up-tempo.
Appreciate it. Sorry, I don't know. Something had to just drop out.
Yeah, that was us. I don't know what's going on. I'm telling you, Armstrong's hijacking the calls back there. Matt and DC. Where were we going with that? Baylor 9 wins next year?
No, just based on looking at the schedule. You got you got Oklahoma, Texas at home. We may be able to squeeze out one of those. It all depends on the offense. I think the defense is going to be the same. We just got to score 30 points, 35 plus. Yeah. So if that holds true, and then we'll see what goes. But I think if we don't make a bowl game, that's going to be a big disappointment because this defense is good enough to get there. We just got to get that offense. If we don't make a bowl game, that'll have to do with just a rash of injuries.
Yeah. I agree because I think the coaching is there from a defensive standpoint as well. I think that, and like you said what? If Baylor scores 35 points per game, they win. Looking down the schedule, 30 to 35 points per game. Looking down the schedule and what they did this past season, and I mean, yeah, that holds true. If they score 35 points every game this past season, they're winning. If not every game, almost every game. Yeah. You got West Virginia win, Texas win, TCU win, Iowa State lost still, but Texas Tech win, Kansas State win, Oklahoma. Yeah. So you're looking at a 7-2 team if Baylor does that. So again, Matt, I think it goes back to the point that if Baylor's offense this year puts up like the defense did, Baylor could have easily gone 7-2, considering most of the games they played were tight.
Yep, and we would have probably playing Oklahoma and in Arlington. Yep.
Oh yeah. Or Iowa State. We would have made it in over Oklahoma and then played Iowa State in Arlington because we still lose to Iowa State and then lose that last one to Oklahoma State. But 7-2 going into Arlington, first year under Dave Aranda. I mean, come on. That would have been great for everybody, no matter how you look at it. But I think it's just a testament of if you have Matt Rule, I'll say this, and this is a weird thing to say, but if you have Matt Rule in the driver's seat this year, 4th year in the program, understands, knows his team really well, they probably win those close games in the end and go 7-2. But you're looking at a new coaching staff, still getting their feet wet, first-year head coach. It's expected that it takes time to build that experience, the relationship with the team. Same as I've covered a bunch of high school teams that'll go 4-8 one year, bring a lot of guys back, their experience. They lost a lot of close games, and they'll flip it to 8-4 and win those close games just because they have experience, you know? So I think with experience, Baylor would have been able to get over that threshold this year. Things didn't really work out. But I think if Baylor wins 9 games next year, Dave Aranda gets an insane extension. Agreed?
No, I think coaches should only ever have 5-year contracts. That's one of the only things that Colin Cowherd's ever said correctly is that everything should be a 5-year contract. Every employment should be a 5-year contract. You got to reprove yourself and continue. I don't like when they give coaches 10 years because if it goes bad, we got to pay out this huge buyout. So you know what? You want an extension? We'll talk to you in 4 years. That's just the way I always see it.
All right, let's play Matt and DC. Let's play Bear games.
Hit me.
Kendall Wright or Nick Florence?
Man,
I know.
That was a tough one, man. Just Kendall Wright's probably first or second best wide receiver I ever had.
Yeah.
But Nick Florence, I'm gonna have to go with Kendall just because of the body of work.
Yep.
So he started since he was a freshman, and just Nick Florence didn't. But it's so close. So I gotta lean Kendall.
Yeah, it's tough. I think if Nick Florence starts for 3 seasons, he probably wins a Heisman and is maybe the greatest player to ever play quarterback for Baylor. But it's just not how the cookie crumbled, and you can't go back on it.
Yep.
Ahmad Dixon or Levi Norwood?
Yeah, I was throwing this one too because Levi's stats are so good, but with Ahmad Dixon coming and just his commitment was able to bring in so many other guys, and that just broke the barrier. So what followed after the Ahmad Dixon decision to come here, and he's a great player, great contributor. I'm going to go with Ahmad Dixon just because of the overall impact it had.
We
had so many great.
Yeah, keep going.
No, just because Levi Norwood was a great player, but we were so stacked at wide receivers. And just with Ahmad Dixon coming, if you could just remember all the stories, especially if you hear Phil Bennett talk about what that meant to the program as far as especially keeping the local guys, because Texas and Oklahoma would come into Central Texas every year. I mean, Quan Cosby went to Mart. He ended up going to Texas. Yeah. I mean, you can go down a list of Oklahoma players that went to Waco High or Midway or Killeen. But we finally got a Waco guy to stay in Waco. If Baylor had kept all the 5-star recruits out of Waco, we would be Oklahoma and Alabama right now.
Right. No, I agree. I think Ahmad Dixon's got the name. Levi Norwood has the stats. That's why when we ranked them, we put Norwood at 4, Ahmad Dixon at 5, because Levi Norwood's stats, you look at them, really, really good. But Ahmad Dixon just carries that name and really had a presence at Baylor. I can't discount. I also voted Ahmad Dixon, so I don't know if I can give that away. Oh, but also, Matt and DC, how about you can live in a mansion rent-free, huge mansion, rest of your life with one Big 12 coach, not Baylor-related? Who is it?
Man. I'm going to say Gary Patterson, just so I could mess with him every single day, but he can't kick me out. He has, no legal way to kick me out.
True.
Like one of those California laws where they can't kick out the renters. Like, if I get something like that where he has to put up with me every day, all the crap I give him, I'm going with Gary Patterson.
Gary Patterson is your selection. Matt and DC, thanks for your call.
Thank you.
Wow, Armstrong. When we made this Bear game today, I didn't think it would all be so dark. Like, instead of you know what? I think Lincoln Riley's got a great offensive mind, and I want to live with him and learn, how he calls plays at Oklahoma. No, it's like who could I steal and put in the basement and feed only bread and water to? That's what all the calls have been for the Bear games today. Yeah, I'll figure that out later. We'll do a more positive Bear game tomorrow. But SicEm Pick'ems today, talking national championship. Texas claimed it. I also want to say this. We didn't do our Bears and Busts this week. I was slacking on that, but I've got this. Here's my Bust of the week. Texas and snow. Not Texas state, but Texas the university. This today has just been look at that. If you're watching on the feed, you are currently seeing what is quite possibly the worst snowman. It is.
It's a gross to look at.
It's an atrocity. Yesterday's Baylor snowman, the one with the softball, the actual bear in the snow.
Yeah.
But Texas posts.
They actually posted this.
They actually posted a picture of 40 acres with a hook'em written in the snow. That looks good.
Yeah, that looks good.
But the snowman is just the physique of the snowman in itself.
Oh my gosh, it's so
horrendous.
Bad.
That is horrendous.
Yesterday in Austin was pretty magical.
God. It's not even hard. right now, to like, it's not even hard to just be like, Texas, what are you doing right now? On social media, especially. A&M's almost worse. Sick 'em, pick 'em tonight. We gotta go rapid fire here, Armstrongs. We got the Halls coming on pretty soon. Baylor and West Virginia. If they would have played tonight, who you going with in men's basketball there?
Baylor.
Oh, surprise.
Shocker.
Nice job, Armstrong. Yeah, I'm going to go with Baylor at home. I think being at the Ferrell Center, they play better. They shoot better typically, that's true for any team for the most part. You just shoot better at home. Wisconsin, number 9 in the country, 10-2, 4-1 in the Big Ten, versus Michigan, 10-0, 5-0 in the Big Ten. Michigan undefeated. You got Wisconsin at Michigan, number 9 versus number 7.
Michigan.
Okay, Michigan at home. That'd put them at 11-0, 6-0. They'd probably move up a couple other spots.
Yeah.
Give me Wisconsin on the road. I think this is the time of year where Michigan kind of drops off a little bit. Michigan's a 3.5-point favorite. Number 10, Tennessee on the road at Vanderbilt. Tennessee a 12.5-point favorite. Unranked Vanderbilt 4-5. Tennessee 9-1.
I like me some Rick Barnes.
Tennessee has struggled. They struggled against Arkansas. They lost to Alabama. They're on the road against Vanderbilt, who's 0-3 in the SEC. I definitely take the points. Tennessee at 12.5. I'm taking Vandy with the points. I'm going to go Vandy. I'm going to go Vandy outright. Super Tuesday upset. Vandy outright. Number 19, Duke is at number 20, Virginia Tech. Duke is only 5-2, 3-0 in the ACC. Virginia Tech is 9-2, 3-1 in the ACC. That game is at Virginia Tech. Duke's a 1-point favorite.
I have to take Virginia Tech.
I also will take Virginia Tech. I don't think Duke's that good this year.
No.
Sorry. You can tell
Virginia Tech's shockingly good.
Virginia,
for such a new coach.
Virginia, exactly. Because Buzz Williams went to
Buzz.
Texas A&M. What a name. All name team. Number 6, Kansas is on the road against Oklahoma State. How about this? Unranked Oklahoma State, 8-3. They're 2-3. They have a losing record in the Big 12. Kansas playing at Oklahoma State. They're only a 3.5-point favorite. Who are you taking in that one?
Kansas. I have to go with Kansas.
I like Virginia Tech at home. I'm taking Kansas on. Nope. Oklahoma State. I'm taking Oklahoma State. You can take Kansas. I'm going upsets all day today on Super Tuesday. So there it is. We've got West Virginia losing to Baylor in our hypothetical world. I'll replay that in my mind tonight at some point. And let me tell you what. Mark Vidal has a breakout game. He puts up 26, 10, and 11. Triple-double for Mark
No
Vidal
way
tonight.
Mark Vidal scores 26 points.
And he already did. I made it happen.
In
my
hypothetical
hypothetical game tonight between Baylor and West Virginia. Baylor 100, West Virginia 0. Yeah, define me. Wisconsin, Michigan, give me Wisconsin on the road in that one. Tennessee at Vanderbilt, give me Vanderbilt at home. Duke at Virginia Tech, give me Virginia Tech. And then Kansas on the road against Oklahoma State. Mayhem! I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. Have a little bit of Armstrong's Minute. We'll hit a break and be right back on Up Tempo.
Around the horn in college athletics last night, the number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide capped off a perfect 13-0 season with a dominating 52-24 win over Ohio State to claim their 6th national championship in the last 12 seasons.
Play action. Jones steps up right down the middle of the field. It's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. A truly special performance by the Heisman Trophy winner. 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Heisman winner Devontae Smith was named MVP for the game after notching 12 catches, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first half alone, leaving the game early due to a dislocated finger. With the win, Nick Saban has now passed Bear Bryant with 7 national championship victories. In men's basketball, just one game of note took place last night with number 25 UConn beating unranked DePaul 60-53 on the road. And tonight's bout between number 2 Baylor and number 13 West Virginia in the Ferrell Center has been canceled due to the Mountaineers not meeting COVID protocol. The Bears' next game will be on Saturday at Texas Tech. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, bringing it back into Up-Tempo. I am Drake Toll alongside our producer, Armstrong Sims. How about it, Armstrong? So last week, Sam Hall was in our Baylor second best bracket and took on Bryce Petty in round 1, which is just, it's unfair. We did Sam dirty. So we thought, well, how about this? We'll bring Sam on the show. We'll get his thoughts on the matchup, and we'll see where we can go from there. Lo and behold, not only do we have Sam, we have a whole family reunion. Because Holly hit a walk-off home run in the college softball World Series. Athletes all around. On top of that, the whole family came on the radio show last week, aside from the 2 athletes, Sam and Holly. So we're fixing that right now. Sam, welcome on the show. Holly, you too.
Hi, thank you.
Absolutely. Sam, so we'll start with you. You were telling me off the air that you're a significantly better athlete than Holly. Kind of break down where you're coming from there with that.
Well, I mean, it's just always been the case since we've been little. I mean, everything that we do, I always just seem to win. So.
And Holly, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you're not gonna take that from him. That maybe he's a little bit off base with that.
I mean, I remember our childhood a little differently than that. I will say once he got bigger than me and faster and stronger, obviously maybe he'll take it a little bit. But, I mean, when we were younger, we were probably neck and neck, that's for sure.
Oh, my goodness. So, Sam, walk me through last week when you get the first calls and texts as they start to flood in about the Baylor second best bracket and your family coming on up-tempo.
Yeah, so the first I actually heard about this bracket, one of my coworkers, he's a Baylor alumni, Clay Sturdivant, actually. I'll give him a little plug. I think he's going to be listening to this. But he sent me the picture of that bracket, and I saw that I was up against Petty. I was like, man, we got to start getting a campaign going or something, because it's going to be tough to beat him. I mean, he's probably going to end up winning the whole thing. So that's where it started for me. And then all of a sudden, I guess it was the day before my competition was up, was one of my wife's friends texted her the video, I guess, of my Momo calling in a day early, and that just I was shocked, but it was pretty funny. It was a good time.
So, Holly, for you, somehow you got roped into this too. Were you experiencing the same hype around you being or the family being involved in the show?
I mean, a little bit. Like, Sam's wife, Morgan, had sent me the text of the voting on Twitter and whatnot, and I didn't think much of it. And then Morgan also sent me the video of Momo calling in, and of course, I mean, that was hilarious and a little embarrassing, but, you know, she's proud of us, so, you know, what do you expect, I guess?
I love it. And you know what? I want to start there, because I'd be remiss if I didn't. I was going to finish with this question, but I'll toss it to you first, Sam. What is, you got any messages out there for Momo, and it's Bill, correct?
I mean, I would just say thanks for the support, I guess. I mean, I know you guys are down in Florida just enjoying your winter down there. Looks like they're not too busy, so but yeah, it's glad to see that they're still supporting us, even though we're way past our playing days, both of us. Holly could probably go back and play, but I don't know if you want me out there anymore. But just love you guys, and you know, it's pretty funny. I think you provide a lot of laughs for, you know, a lot of my friends. I know that.
Holly, same question for you. They called into the show today. It was great. I don't know if you guys got to see it, but they called in to ask how they could watch. And it was about, I think it was at 11:30 or so in our top hour. And the question from Momo, if you will, if I have permission to call her Momo. But the question she asked, she said, I see you on the screen, but I don't see Sam or Holly on the screen. How can we fix that? So hopefully we've got that fixed. And that was at 11:30 today. So I let her know that at 1:05 that you guys would pop up on the screen. So Holly, same question for you. I'll let you give your special shout out message to Miss Mary, as we call her.
Yeah, just that we love her and we miss her. And I mean, we haven't seen her in forever. I think COVID had a little bit to do with that. But, you know, she's always been one of our biggest fans. So we always appreciate that and love her for that.
Yeah. So
hi, Bill.
Bill, she brought him on as well last week, which just, I mean, such golden content and entertainment from those two. They are radio gold. They're polished and ready for a career. When they grow up, when they get older, they have a career in radio. But Sam, for you, looking back at your playing days, kind of start where your dad sent in a text message last week, a picture of you in a pass breakup against Texas, or I think he may have said it was an interception. Walk me through, if you can remember. He said to win the Big 12 championship, but I want to hear it from you, Sam, that play and what you remember about that game.
Oh, well, whatever. Actually, that first half of that game, I was playing horrible. I got beat by Marquise Goodwin and Shipley for about 80 yards apiece. Wasn't having the best game ever to begin with. But then, Phil Bennett, he gave me a pretty good talking to in the locker room, and we were able to turn things around. Actually, ended up coming out. I had like 11 tackles or something in the second half and 2 interceptions. So I'd say I turned it around, but I had to, or else I don't know if I'd have been playing anymore. So
I assume that conversation with Phil Bennett was very calm, cool, and collected, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know how they always are with him.
Oh my goodness, Holly, for you on the other end of that, I'm a huge softball guy. Grew up a big softball fan, following around my sister playing ball, and so we followed Baylor from the very beginning. Started going to World Series every year, so we've been in Oklahoma City a few times and seen it. For you, walk-off home run against number 5 Missouri, and this right here says you did what 95 batters before you couldn't do, driving in a run on a solo blast to give Baylor the win over Missouri at the World Series in Oklahoma City. What do you remember about that game?
Is that it was very long.
13 innings to be exact.
Yeah, I mean, it was super long, and I mean, by the end of it, I think it was past midnight. But I mean, it was an amazing game. I mean, it was a pitcher's duel. People were hitting the ball, but even defense was making great plays, and I mean, it was fun to be a part of, but as far as actually hitting the home run, it's one of those instances where you're just, close your eyes and swing hard and, just it's all you could do at that point. But yeah, no, I mean, it was one of the best games I was ever a part of, so.
Yeah. And Sam, everybody has moments in their life and athletic career that you just remember. Things that happen and you think, this moment right here, I am never going to forget. Is there a moment for you when you played football at Baylor that sticks out?
I'd probably say my senior year when we played our final game in Floyd Casey against Texas. I mean, that was just that was probably one of the coolest games that I've ever been a part of, and coolest things that we've been a part of. They shut out the lights and all that stuff, and I think it was like 8 degrees outside, but that didn't really matter at that point. I mean, that was just a really good moment, and another Big 12 championship with that game, and then just the whole experience with that was really awesome. And that's something that I really, when I look back, that it kind of sticks out to me.
Holly, same question for you, and it may have been that walk-off home run, but I want to know if it's not. Was there one moment that stuck out in your collegiate playing days?
I mean, I would definitely say the home run probably is super special to me, but when Sam was talking, I was like, I wonder what mine is. And mine is honestly probably that same year in 2011, whenever we went to Georgia, and we were definitely the underdogs. We had to play them in the Super Regional to get to the World Series. And I think, just that entire weekend, I don't think we were expected to win one game, and we came out of it. We beat them twice, and Claire Hosack had she went down because she got hit by a pitch, and then Kelsey came in she did amazing behind the plate, and just as all around of a team, we did great. And that was a super special time to kind of prove to ourselves that we were, meant to be there and, earned our spot in the World Series.
That same year, that Georgia series, first game, you win it 5-1. Second game, a run rule, 14-2 loss against Georgia in 5 innings. They cut the game short. And then the win on Sunday, 9-2. One of the things, and I wanted to ask you a question about this, and I'm kind of jumping the gun on my line right here, but what I've got, when people talk about Coach Mark Lumley and what he meant to the Baylor softball program, Coach Moore brought up the Georgia series and how Lum was just emotional in the dugout after the series about how hard and how hard the team played and how much heart the team had. What do you remember about Coach Lumley, and how did he impact you?
Yeah, so, whenever I think about him, what I think about most is just his passion for every single thing he did, whether it was off the field or on the field. And especially in a time like that in Georgia, you're on such a high winning that first game, and especially the way we did. And then the second game, you go back down really far, and he was always just so positive. Even he had a way of, even like when he was correcting you and coaching you up, and you could tell he was super frustrated with what you were doing. He was just so passionate about it, so it made you want to do better, which is, everything you can ask for in a coach. So that's what I remember most about him.
For you, Sam, was there one coach in your time at Baylor that really stuck out to you that you maybe still have a relationship with that meant a lot to you?
Oh man, I've got a few coaches. So Coach Norwood, he recruited me, and he was the DC when I got there. And I tell people all the time that he's probably one of the best human beings I've ever met. Just a good Christian guy. I mean, he's such a nice dude, and even when he was yelling at you, it was the softest yell, but it was, it meant something because you respected him. And then, obviously Coach Briles, that's one of the main reasons that I decided to go to Baylor, was just because I wanted to play for him. He was, a West Texas guy, and, my mom's side of the family's from West Texas. And so they kind of had that in common. And, he saw something in me that, a lot of these other Big 12 schools didn't, so that meant a lot. And then Coach Bennett obviously is sorry, I'm getting a little long-winded on you, but those are the three guys that really stick out in my mind when I start thinking back.
Sam, I'll stick it here with you because I feel like it'd be even better to start with you on this one. But Jordan Niver, what do you know about that guy?
Yeah. I know he started dating my sister when we were roommates. So.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's a detail that a lot of people don't know. They know that they're married, but we were roommates at the time. We were actually roommates for, I guess, the majority of the time there. Us and Bryce Hager and at first, and then we were with Mike Hicks and Brody, But yeah, no, he's now my brother-in-law, so there's that.
Hey, Holly, what do you know about Jordan Niver?
I mean, I really like him. I don't know. He's a good dude. And I don't know. The story kind of goes, like, I had seen him in the weight room, like when we were working out on softball. And then, you just see the guys walk through every now and then or at practice. And I knew he was kind of friends with Sam, so I came up with this plan to cook Sam dinner, but have him invite Jordan over too. And then, ultimately, I guess the rest is history after that.
She was scheming on me.
Yeah.
Wow. Right there, we're breaking it out up tempo. Sam and Jordan were roommates when they started dating. Oh my, I guess it works out in the end though. So no harm, no foul. But I tell you what, Sam.
The guy's like 6'8", 260 pounds. I don't know what you want me to do.
I was about to ask you if in that fight, I'm guessing you didn't bully him too much.
No, yeah. I kind of let it happen just because there's not really much I could do about it.
Oh my goodness! But
but I didn't have a problem with it. It wasn't a big deal at all.
I hope not.
Some people, some people are like, man, I can't believe you let that happen. I'm like, man, it's not really a big deal. My sister's happy, so whatever.
Wow. Well, tell me, guys. So, Holly, where are you now? Since moving on from Baylor, I know Jordan, tight end coach at Tulsa. Does that mean that you guys have relocated to there? What are you up to?
Yeah, so we've been in Tulsa for about 4.5 years now. That's what brought us here is Jordan working for Coach Montgomery at TU. We love it here. It's a great place to live. At first, I was a little concerned about moving to Oklahoma, being a Texas girl, but we love it here. It's great.
Yeah, and Sam, same question for you. Where are you now? What have you been up to?
I am up in McKinney, Texas now. My wife and I just bought a house here not too long ago. And nothing really, just working, I'm in sales now, so try to keep up with all the college sports as much as I can, but I'm a little bit, outside the box now with all that. But no, we're up in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, so we're still pretty close to everything. We get a chance to come down to Waco. We do any chance we can. We love Waco. That's where my wife and I met as well.
Wow. Sam, have you had a chance to catch any Baylor games here recently? Do you come back pretty often?
I usually try to catch like one or two a year. Obviously this year was pretty tough. I think we did go. We actually went to the first game. I forget who we played. It was Kansas game, I think. we made that one, and that one was a good game. We won it. So had a little bit higher expectations than what we were able to do, but hopefully they'll get things. They'll pick things back up next season.
Yeah. And Holly, are you able to come down often? I know Tulsa's a pretty good trek, but have you made the trip back to Waco recently?
I haven't. A few years back, my friend and I, before she started having babies, we would come back and run the Bearathon every spring. We did that twice, so that was kind of fun. But, and especially during football season, every weekend we're at a TU game. So when Sam and Morgan get to go have fun in Waco, we're usually somewhere off watching Tulsa football or, doing something.
Wow. Well, I feel really bad for you having to watch all that football on the weekends. But really, a lot of respect to coaches' wives and what you're able to do and the support that you bring. But I've got Bear games that we play here every day on Uptempo, and this is how this all started. So I'd be remiss if I didn't give it to both of you. But Holly, we'll start with you. If you had to vote on the Baylor's second best player of the last decade, are you going with Kendall Wright or Nick Florence?
Ooh, Kendall Wright, definitely.
Ahmad Dixon or Levi Norwood?
Levi.
And then if you could live in one mansion rent-free with a Big 12 coach, and it can't be Baylor related, who would it be? Any sport. I'll give you any sport.
A Big 12 coach, mansion, rent-free. I don't know. Maybe. Dang. Yeah, that one's kind of hard.
I will give you can say not Patty Gasso. You can narrow it down to anyone but Patty Gasso, and I will give you that.
Gosh, but I have heard, especially now in Oklahoma, that all of her girls love her. So I don't know. She seems like a pretty cool coach. I don't know. Can I say Lincoln Riley? I've heard great things about him.
Lincoln Riley. Lock it in. How about, so I feel like Sam's answer may be a little bit different, but Sam, we'll start with Kendall Wright or Nick Florence.
Man, I had to guard Kendall Wright in practice a few times, and that stuff's not fun. And I know, I've got to go with Kendall on that. Obviously, sorry, Nick, but you were a great player for us. But Kendall, he was something else.
How about Ahmad Dixon or Levi Norwood?
Oh man, see, that's a tough one. I came in with both of those guys. They were both in my recruiting class, so I know them both really well. Levi was a great player for us, and he was also son of my direct coach, my position coach. So we had a little connection there. And then Ahmad Dixon, we both came in as two stages in that class, and we roomed together. We roomed together at the hotels for night before games for our freshman year. Had to kind of act like his alarm clock at times, but they're both great players. But I think just being a defensive guy, and him being my position, I have to go with Ahmad.
Ahmad Dixon, lock it in. All right, and a mansion with one Big 12 coach. Who you living with rent free?
Does it have to be a current Big 12 coach?
I'll give you past.
Mike Leach.
Mike Leach. That's going to be a trip and a half. Good luck keeping up with him. Wow. Sam Hall, Holly Hall-Niver. Wait a second. Wait. Did she? Jordan Niver's her husband. It's clicking now. You're clicking now. Stupid. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on Uptempo today. We have a whole family reunion last week. We're doing it all again today. You guys were awesome, and I hope you're both doing well.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely. I'm Drake Toll. That's our producer, Armstrong Sims. Coming up next, we have Olympian Casey Lightfoot joining the show. This is Uptempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culture Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culture Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culture Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culture Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culture Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Halfway through the 1 o'clock hour, I'm Drake Toll alongside producer Armstrong Sims on Up Tempo. How about this? Joined today by Casey Lightfoot, Baylor pole vaulter on the track and field team. Casey, a big week for you guys. Got a meet coming up, if I'm correct.
Heck yeah, we got our first meet coming up on Saturday.
I love it. So I'll start there. And I really wanted to start with the big thing that I'm sure everybody is wondering about, and that's the Olympics. But let's start small and build up to that. How about first track meet of the year? Is it going to look a lot different this year with COVID?
I mean, I think so. We're not going to have spectators at Tech, so it's going to be a different atmosphere. But, I mean, all in all, it's kind of like whenever you're out there, you have so much adrenaline and everything that you kind of get in your own zone. So it'll be different. It'll be a lot quieter, but I mean, I'm just glad that we can finally get back and hopefully start our season that we missed last year.
Yeah. So talking about last season and what you missed out on, I see you're wearing USA. I know there's a lot of speculation on whether or not you would represent Canada or the U.S. in the Olympics, but I'm glad to see it is the U.S. in the end.
Yeah, and I will compete for the United States.
Oh my goodness. So Casey, what were your Olympic plans coming into the summer last summer? And then obviously the bottom falls out with the Tokyo Olympics being postponed. So now what?
So last year I had my spot already for the Olympic trials. I think they were going to be in June or July, I think it was. And I mean, that came and went real quick, and they postponed it. So it'll be this year. It's a week after NCAA's. I think it's June 20th. or something like that. So I'll be right back out there. Same thing, just 1 year later.
Wow. So what is your Olympic outlook? Are you in a situation where you know confidently that you're going to represent the United States in the Olympics in 2021?
I wish it was that easy. I really do. No, I have a good chance, but it's pole vault. So it's just one of those things. Anything can happen because we go to the Olympic trials, and then the top 3 placers at Olympic trials make the Olympic team. I did the same kind of thing to qualify for world championships, and I did it in 2019. So hopefully, anything can happen, but hopefully it'll all go my way again, and hopefully I'll be able to represent the United States.
Casey, you're in a situation as an aspiring Olympian where in a lot of different sports, 1 year can make a huge difference in times. Whether it be 1 year older or 1 year younger, you could be a second faster, a second slower. But for you with pole vault, waiting a year, does that make you better coming into this summer, or do you feel like maybe you've lost a step?
So it's different for all people, of course. But for my instance, it didn't hurt me at all. I definitely gained a lot out of it because I still had places to train during COVID. Because in my instance, I'm only 21 years old, so I'm still one of the youngest ones out there. But in an instance for somebody who may be, at the top of their range, 29, 30 or something, somewhere around there, and they're just kind of at the end of their career, that extra year would be really tough. But just for me though, I got a lot of things accomplished. I never stopped training. I may not gotten to compete in all the meets that we had scheduled, but for me, I grew, I got stronger, I got faster. So it was a positive outcome.
So for you and the Olympic trials, you have the Baylor school record for indoor pole vault at 19 feet, 1.5 inches. If you do that at the Olympic trials, how confident are you that you're going to represent this country?
I don't know. It's a good jump, but that's an old one. Hopefully that'll get raised quite a bit here. Hopefully on Saturday, actually. But like I said, it just really depends because Olympic trials are in Oregon. I have the Olympic standard already, but if it's raining and we got bad winds or just bad conditions, you never know what it's going to take. So you just got to be ready kind of for anything.
Yeah. So with that, you said that's an old jump. Talk to me about where you are right now and how you've improved over the last year.
Yeah, so that's from last indoor season. This year I had an inter squad meet a few weeks back. I jumped 591, 19.5, and then in practice the other day I put up a 6 meter bar in practice. Of course, it's just training, but it's 19.8 1/4. So hopefully, if I can do that, that'd be there's only been 12 people in history to ever clear it indoors. So hopefully I can get that done in a meet and boost my rankings a little bit.
Casey, that's another 7 inches on your vault compared to where you were hitting last year. For me, that seems like a dramatic jump. Is that pretty big? Were you expecting to go up a whole 7 inches on your jump?
I was expecting to go up some, but I never knew exactly what it was going to be. I trained really hard over the summer, and I'm still training really hard right now. So I knew there was going to be improvements, but you can never put a number on what it's going to happen until it's already there, until it already hits you. So it doesn't surprise me. I worked really hard to try to get here, and I still think I have definitely more in the tank. So maybe we can see a 6:05 jump and 19:10 jump or something here pretty soon.
Wow. So when you walk out there, whether it be an indoor or outdoor track meet, especially as your season starts at the end of this week, do you walk into every meet expecting to be the best one there and to win the meet?
I don't really go in with that mindset, but I'm usually one of the top jumpers at most of the meets we go to. So my goal is obviously to go out there and win, whether that happens or not. I don't particularly walk out there and say that I'm going to win because anything can happen. Anybody can come up short, you can no height, you can just have a bad day, you know what I mean? So, I do have some confidence going into meets. I've done it a million times. I know what to expect. It's not like anything new is getting thrown at me other than no spectators, but that's just like a normal practice. So it's not anything that crazy.
Backing it up to just looking at your accolades here, your success, indoor school record holder in pole vault, Indoor All-American in 2020, University of Iowa Invitational Outstanding Male Athlete in a field event. I mean, all of these, all Big 12 outdoor, all Big 12 indoor. There are literally 25 of these accolades just strewn here on the site. Tell me, though, what even got you into pole vault? Where did this affinity for pole vaulting start?
So I used to play baseball a long time. And then my dad kind of one day is where I got it from. He used to pole vault in high school and college. And one day he came up to me and was like, hey, I think you'd be pretty good at this. Maybe you should try it. And I was like just being a little kid, just wanting to do whatever. I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. And then one practice led to another, and kind of here we are.
Holy cow. So your recruiting process, too, from Lee's Summit, Missouri, I would like to think, especially coming into Baylor, you are Missouri Boys Gatorade Track Athlete of the Year, Spectrum Sports Athlete of the Week, 2-time state champion in pole vault. Come on. What brought you to Baylor? The pick of the litter, you could have gone anywhere. Why Baylor?
So there's not too many pole vault schools everywhere. It's a pretty unique event. So not everybody has it. I took my visits to kind of the top pole vault schools, and Baylor was one of them. I've known the coach here for a long time. But I didn't really care to stay close to home or not. That wasn't really any kind of factor. But just kind of the atmosphere that I got here just feels like just one pretty big family. I love our trainers and the training room that we have, all the coaches we have here, the athletes, our academic side. I mean, it was just kind of a jack of all trades. It was hard to pass up.
Yeah. And so when you're preparing for this weekend's meet, what do you expect out of this Saturday? Are you excited to get back out there?
I'm pumped, man. I'm so excited to be able to get back out there. I mean, going into it, I would like, obviously, to have put up a pretty high bar, to probably hopefully the world lead, maybe. But what I'm kind of looking at is the indoor collegiate record is 593. It's like 19.6 or something like that. So I'd like to break that one, and then hopefully after that, maybe I can jump a 6-meter bar to put me in that top list. But I'm just pumped to get back out there and have fun.
You said the collegiate record is 19.6 in indoor?
Yes, the indoor collegiate record is 5.93 meters, so it's like 19. It's actually probably 19.5 and a half, actually.
And you hit in practice 19.8, correct?
I did.
So you're telling me Casey Lightfoot of the Baylor Bears on the verge of possibly breaking the collegiate record for pole vault?
Yeah, hopefully. So in practice the other day, I actually put it at the collegiate record. I put it at 594 before the 6-meter jump, and I made it, and then I made 6 meters afterwards. So hopefully things will line up on Saturday.
Oh my goodness. So picture it with me. I get the eyes closed just picturing it. 2021, Tokyo, Japan. This just arena filled with thousands of people you're representing the United States pole vaulting for the country. Is that the goal? When you go to bed at night, you're like, yeah, that's where I want to be this summer?
I mean, I would love to be there. I daydream about it all the time, but I mean, I've been in situations kind of like that. I went to Qatar last year, and it was kind of the same situation for World Championships. So I mean, it's just I always think it's cool to jump in stadiums. I haven't done it too many times, but I went overseas twice last year. So I mean, I definitely daydream about the Olympics all the time. So.
Well, Casey, as someone who was captain of their 9th grade football team, I got to say I've been there. And I know what that feels like, and I'm excited that you're getting to feel that too right now. But as someone who also didn't play high school athletics, I feel like I'm now living vicariously through you, knowing you've got a legitimate shot to go to the Olympics and represent the USA. And we talked about kind of your pride in wearing that across your chest. How proud are you to put on that Baylor uniform too, and to be a Bear representing this university?
Oh man, I mean, it's great. It's just like a USA uniform, but I get to wear it more often. I mean, I love getting to go out there and jump with the bear or bears on my chest or whatever it is, just the interlocking BU, whatever uniform it is, I mean, it's just representing our family that we got here and everybody that helps me get to where I'm going. I mean, I'm not doing this on my own. I couldn't do it without the trainers or the weight coaches or anybody else here. I couldn't be on this interview without Kellen over here. So, I mean, I'm not on my own. It's a big journey with all of us involved. So I feel like whenever I can go out there and do it with the BU on my chest, I feel like I'm kind of bringing everybody into it together.
Wow. I'll tell you this, Casey. I seldom find myself starstruck, but to know that you're on the cusp of possibly breaking the collegiate record and have a legitimate chance at representing the country in the Olympics in this upcoming summer too, and then, Olympics further past that, not just this one, but you have the goal to go to multiple Olympic games and represent the United States. On behalf of the entire Up-Tempo crew, just wow. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Now, and we got the Bayer games. So I got one question for you. This eclipses any sport. But if you could live in a mansion with one it's a huge mansion, rent-free, and you're living there for the rest of your life. Like, this is the coolest place you can imagine. Imagine a cool place, but cooler. But you have to live with one Big 12 coach. Any sport. I'll open it up to any sport. Which coach are you living with?
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know that many Big 12 coaches.
I will give you a Baylor coach, too. You can live with a Baylor coach. That's completely cool. Like, you can bring your whole staff on. Kellen can live there with you. You can just have a big track house, a mansion filled with Baylor track folks.
I mean, I guess I would have to go with, I don't know. I could live with Coach Richards or Coach Harbor or Coach Ford. I'd be fine with any of them.
You'd find a way. I'm sure you guys would be able to. You'd find a way to work it out, man. Casey Lightfoot, thank you so much for joining Up Tempo today. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on, and good luck this weekend. And hey, what do you say we do it again this summer when you're headed up to Tokyo?
That sounds like a plan.
I love it. That's Casey Lightfoot, Baylor pole vaulter on Up Tempo. I am Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. We've got a caller on the line, Stephen from Virginia. Stephen, got to hit a hard break right here, but hold on, and we'll get to you here in just a second. Armstrong, that guy could break the collegiate record and go to the Olympics and represent the United States of America. That's cool. That's awesome. Casey Lightfoot on Up Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
It's the fastest 3 hours in radio. That's right, Up Tempo, Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims, rounding out our final hour of the day on a happy Tuesday. Stephen from Virginia is on the line on the Impact Health Labs caller line. Stephen from Virginia, you're on with Up Tempo.
Hey guys, I woke up late today, but I'm excited for a full show when the podcast comes out. But I got to say, I'm picking John Wooden or Pat Summitt over Nick Saban.
Wow. How about John McDonnell, the track coach at the University of Arkansas that has 40 national championships? Stephen from Virginia. No?
I mean, I assume that his program was pretty good too, but I don't know too much about track.
That's true. J.D. Piquel just crapped all over track earlier today, which was really disappointing. I lost some respect points in that moment. -12 to J.D. Piquel today. Stephen from Virginia, what do you think about UTSA being ranked number 2 in the way too early State of Texas power rankings for next season?
Is that Dave Campbell's State of Texas power ranking?
It is Dave Campbell's. How'd you know?
I'm a Dave Campbell subscriber, so I know that they've been pretty high on UTSA for a while. I also think it is realistic to expect 6 wins for Baylor next year, but UTSA is a favorite of theirs. So UTSA is good, but they might be the best group of 5 school that's not SMU or Houston. But I don't particularly have a lot of faith in UTSA as a 10-win team.
Yeah, me neither. And if they are 10-win UTSA, I don't even know if 10-win UTSA is ranked, you know? Most of those schools, if they lose a game or two, they're done.
Didn't North Texas win 10 games a couple of years ago and nobody really cared about that?
Yeah, they beat Arkansas in Fayetteville, if you remember that one.
I do remember that. I didn't mean to bring that up for you, buddy.
How about over-under? Casey Lightfoot breaks 2 collegiate records this weekend.
Over.
I'm going over. Armstrong?
I'm going over.
Armstrong's nodding his head.
I'm a huge Casey Lightfoot fan.
I Casey Lightfoot stan at this point. Like this is a Casey Lightfoot stan show now.
Oh yeah.
Bear games. Stephen from Virginia. Kendall Wright or Nick Florence?
Okay, I'm changing my vote on this one only because I saw the poll, and I know the winner's going to win regardless. Nick Florence burned a year to come in after Texas Tech had been headhunting against RG3 all game, and he came in and won that game. And we would not have won 10 games that year if it was not for Nick Florence, in addition to the year that he led the nation in offense. So because of that, I will always be grateful to Nick Florence. So I guess this is my little bit for Nick Florence here.
Yeah. Shout out to Nick Florence. I mean, you got to give it's the bracket's not supposed to be easy, you know. You're going to have to vote out guys that were really, really good because Baylor had a great decade of football. It's just the fact that at the end of the day, Kendall Wright had a better Baylor career. But I like that you voted Nick Florence because it doesn't really make a difference, and you also get to give him a shout out. It was well deserved. Thank you, Stephen from Virginia. Ahmad Dixon or Levi Norwood?
Ahmad Dixon is the first recruit that changed the game when we brought in Coach Briles. He flipped from Texas to Baylor. And a lot of people made fun of him for that decision, and he was right because he ended up getting to be a senior and walking out of Floyd Casey with a Big 12 title by beating Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I take that. So Ahmad Dixon's going to win that one. Levi Norwood. Tough day for Norwood and the Norwood family. You can live in a mansion, rent-free. The largest house on earth. 6 swimming pools. They're all Olympic size. And it has an Olympic pole vault area. What do you call it? Arenas area? I'll just call it an area. Olympic pole vault area for you. You and Casey Lightfoot can share the house with one Big 12 coach. Who is it?
Well, I got to say, I would love to live with Coach Drew, but I don't know if he'd love to live with me. So we can see how long that would last.
If you had to go outside of the Baylor bubble too, who are you going with?
If I have to go outside of the Baylor bubble?
Yeah.
I like Mike Gundy. You know, he's a man.
He's 51. He's a man. He's 51.
I could live with Mike.
Yeah. I like that pick, actually.
Say that again?
I said he's a man. He's 51. I keep up with his age pretty regularly just to make sure I can make that joke reoccurring.
Sorry, I shaved a year on it. He could help me figure out my hair situation.
There you go. Shave. I get a pun. I get it. I get the pun. All right, Stephen from Virginia, thanks for the call. The Impact Health Labs caller line.
Take it easy, guys.
Yeah, always good to hear from you. Stephen from Virginia taking Mike Gundy. He's the first one to take Mike Gundy today. How about this? Recapping today's action, Armstrong. Pretty good day. SicEm Pick'em's talking about the national championship game that Texas won last night. Congratulations to Steve Sarkisian and the Longhorns. Also, big congratulations to Texas A&M for also getting a share of the national championship. There, for those that are watching on the live stream, is a picture of Mac Jones shirtless.
Yeah, it was the most shocking thing of the day.
And if you're listening on the app, which is highly recommended as well, you are not seeing this, and you're probably better off for it, because Mac Jones shirtless is just a weird sight. I didn't expect it.
Strange.
It's not normal. It's not normal. Today we had, SicEm Pick'em talked about Dave Campbell's Texas football naming UTSA the number 2 best team in Texas for all of next year, which is just what?
I still don't know if I still can't decide if it's like they'll have a better record, like they're their best compared to the teams.
I don't think so, man.
Or if it's like if they all played, UTSA would beat every single other team in Texas except for A&M.
The book on the 2020 season is closed. Never too early to look ahead to the future of Texas football.
It's a joke.
The state is a makeover. The state's recognizable quarterbacks, new faces. This is not a look back to credit a job well done. The slate is wiped clean. This ranking is based on what we believe each team in this state can and will accomplish in 2021. So, you really think UTSA is going to accomplish more than Texas? I don't. I'm not here to root for Texas or talk them up at all. But come on, man. Celebrity birthdays! Maybe my favorite part of the day. I love celebrity birthdays. Zayn Malik, pop singer with the band One Direction. How old is he today?
35.
One Direction? You really think a guy that sang for One Direction is 35?
Yeah. How old is One Direction? One Direction's like early
2010s. And they were all like,
I was going to say early 2000s.
No, One Direction? That's what makes you beautiful.
I was thinking NSYNC. That's what I was thinking.
You were thinking of NSYNC? You were mixing up One Direction and NSYNC?
Yeah, the same thing.
Paul's right on the afternoon show. We got to work on your culture just a little bit.
I don't think that's important. Me knowing who One Direction is not important.
I'm with Paul on this one. Paul and I agree. You know what? We're going to get there.
You know what? I don't want to get there.
Jeff Bezos, Amazon. How old's Jeff Bezos today?
63.
57.
57, okay.
Howard Stern, radio host. How old's he today?
65.
He's 67. He looks a little bit older than 67, though. He not aged well. Do Kyung-soo. He's a K-pop singer.
Oh, my. Who cares? 25.
You'd be 28. You'd be surprised. Who cares?
Oh, I know. A lot of people care, and it's
the K-pop Twitter stands. They're alive and well.
It's kind of disturbing.
Oh yeah, it's not. It's not. I guess. I mean, it is. If you like it, you like it. Other popular birthdays today. You've got Rush Limbaugh. How old's Rush Limbaugh?
Rush is 68.
He's 70. He's 70.
Wow.
Dominique Wilkins, NBA Hall of Famer, played for the Hawks.
Yeah. 52.
61. How about Joe Frazier? Boxer Joe Frazier.
Yeah. I don't know. 68.
Joe Frazier is 77 today. How about that?
Yeah, they're all around the same age.
Happy birthday, Joe Frazier. And last but not least, Kirstie Alley. How old is she today? I don't know this.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, she's 70. She's an actress.
I got it.
This day in sports history.
Kirstie Alley.
Bjorn Borg of Sweden wins his first two-season-ending ATP Masters Grand Prix tennis title, outclassing American Vitas Gerlaitis 6-2, 6-2 at Madison Square Garden. Bjorn Borg.
Okay, so
you should remember this. It's Bjorn Borg.
70s?
1980.
Okay.
Close though. I'll say that you guessed 79, and we'll get you got close. How about this? These are pretty good, pretty recent. This day in sports histories, the Mile High Miracle, Tim Tebow, and that was a different Mile High Miracle. Mile High Miracle, Denver Broncos ahead of Baltimore Ravens with 1 minute remaining. Quarterback Joe Flacco heaves a 70-yard touchdown to Jacoby Jones to tie the game, and the Ravens win in overtime. 70-yard touchdown.
I'm going to say like 2011.
13. And last but not least, college football national championship, AT&T Stadium. Ohio State beats Oregon. 42-20.
2015.
Hit the nail on the head, Armstrong.
2015.
I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. Had a great day today. Let's do it again tomorrow. A loaded guest list for your Wednesday. What a good Tuesday it was, though. Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims, Up Tempo.
Ideal MRI is a small family business right here in Central Texas. We're open to support you while lowering the cost of healthcare bills. When you need an MRI, ask your doctor for an Ideal MRI. Visit us at idealmri.com or call us at 833-IDEAL-MRI.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Cam Heathcott, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs. Knowing you, that's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Cam Heathcott, covering Conroe and Houston, 936-756-7717 or cam.heathcott@edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.